Welcome everybody to An Ad on the DL. Session 23. Very interesting. We will be unfortunately losing out on Mr. DQ Blizzardperson, but we've got the rest of the gang here. It's been a couple weeks. Let's get into it with the one and only BigYin's recap.
Yeah. We're back to the dull, boring recap without all the fun, copyright, trademark infringement, because people are picky. Anyways, we got up to some shenanigans, and there's a lot of story basically. Big story dump last time. Not a lot of fighting, so if you want to take a nap during this, it's fine. Jolliver Grimjaw, the dude kind of in charge of this fort, he knows DQ. Jolliver is clearly in charge. And Jolliver basically cleared the room except for himself and this kind of water person named Urshnora. And she's a Fathomer, sentient water elemental. And so basically Jolliver gave the entire download backstory on DQ. Apparently, DQ is a prince, and I say this with heavy air quotes, a prince of some local lizard folk. And his father is King Raktos, and in this clan of Clan Blackmaw. And apparently, Clan Blackmaw has aligned themselves with the Water Cultists for about the cult of the Crushing Wave for the last 6 years. DQ is roughly 20 human years old, and the clan has occupied the caverns of this kind of canyon structure where we find ourselves for the past 3 generations. Um, Basically, 3 years ago, the king was kind of corrupted and started sending his people out on punitive piratical raids. And Jolliver was a hired pirate at the time, and he was sanctioned, basically carrying letters of marque, by the Yartar government. Um, major river port city to the north, kind of chaotic neutral, kind of government, very kind of, basically the kind of place the Zentarum would really take root. Um, and basically Jolliver and DQ went out raiding with the cultists, and DQ is not exactly a huge fan of his father's darker impulses. DQ started to have daddy issues and kind of get really angry, and it was like there's all this, oh, senpai noticed me and I don't like that my dad's mean and angry and my dad beats me and I'm gonna rebel kind of bullshit that was going
So
on.
I would like to just stop here. I never once stated that DQ's father hit him.
Mm.
Just for the record, that was never stated. That is not
Admittedly,
canon. That is not canon.
I I'm editorializing a little bit because DQ isn't here to defend himself. Also DQ was kind of an angry dude. He was a fought like a berserker barbarian, and basically DQ had had enough and asked Jolliver to smuggle him out of the Blackmaw clan, and basically, and apparently Savra, our buddy Savra from the tower over there, um, knew Jolliver, and this is where things get kind of twisted. Apparently, the people we helped kill the Manticores and the Giant with, they're wind cultists.
Air
So we
cultists.
were and they're air cultists. So we were helping cultists, and apparently this puts the relationship with the town and spies and culty spies in the town in a whole new light. But and it's kind of interesting because the more questions we asked Oliver, you know, he got really evasive and couldn't tell us certain things. Like clearly, he even stuck out his tongue and showed a mark on his tongue where clearly a Gios had been placed upon him, preventing him from disclosing certain pieces of information. Um, Apparently, the cultists had also tried to brainwash him. It didn't quite take. He escaped, and yeah, there's a lot of like weird, crazy shit that happened. Effectively, now Jollifer's ships and crews effectively transport slaves. Um, the but in spite of all of this, Jollifer was able to give us a fair bit of information. The Earth cultists are at the Sacred Stone Monastery. Um, I the great and wise and intelligently powerful, very good at magic, BigYin,
Mm-hmm.
brought Jollifer up to speed on Elwarin and my task to go find the moon elf princess, and he said we should talk to Halia Handerum. She runs the bathhouse in Red Larch, so definitely we got some better information on the actual job we're supposed to be doing, so we need to circle back and do that. He also said if we wanted the trade, we should go back to Red Larch, that there are spies, and we basically slept in the barracks for the night. There are some shenanigans with cards, and I sneak out and feed Elwarin, and I sneak out and I give him for a walk around the grounds and to go use the loo, and I give Elwarin the information that I got from Jollifer. And in the morning, we all show up and we go hang out with Jollifer again. We all get a bunch of gear. I get a ring of healing word. Useless gets a ring of mind shielding, which is pretty badass. Which also can actually house the wearer's soul if they die wearing the ring, which is kind of interesting. I imagine there are all sorts of devious things you can do with that, like actually trap people's soul in them. If you say knock them down, put the ring on them, and then kill them, trap someone's soul inside the ring. So that could be fun. All sorts of devious purposes there.
To be fair, the ring specifically does state like it has to be willing.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Trap it. So just for reference.
Fair point.
Continue.
Elwarin gets the Elven Stormbow, and I think he also gets he bought some magical arrows off Jolliver as well. DQ gets the Whisper Bow, +1, and giving him dark vision, so apparently I'm the only one who doesn't naturally have dark vision now. Ulrich gets a really cool shield that, with a spoken word in Dwarvish, floats around him, which is kind of cool. Lando gets the Berserker Axe. Cromwell gets the Little Avenger, and Jollifer recommends that we go talk to Sholar, one of his captains, to go to Red Larch, to catch a ride to Red Larch, and we all left off on the boat.
Correct. Cool. And, yeah. What's up?
No, I was gonna bring up the dream thing, but we don't have to do that.
It hasn't happened yet.
Okay.
So yeah, so you guys are on this boat, and Sholar says, "All right, boys. So we've got the crew of you, and I'm on my way to Womford. Where do you guys want to ride with me down to Womford? I can also drop you off on the opposite side of the river to the Bargewright Inn, or would you guys like me to drop you off before we get to Womford? What's the game plan for you guys?
If you could drop us off at Red Larch, it'd be appreciated.
Well, Red Larch is not on the river, sir. You must walk. So you can either walk through contested territory, one could say, or you could go all the way down to Womford, the Bargewright Inn, and walk along the path, or catch a cart, maybe pay somebody to take you guys faster to the Red Larch than it would be to walk, or I can just drop you off somewhere pretty much in the middle of nowhere, and you'll have to make your way, and hopefully you won't get killed or eaten by something, huh?
Can you pull up the map again real quick, DM?
Sure.
I was gonna say, that would help a lot.
Yeah, so y'all are...
So I'll pull out the map and I'll say, well, lads, wait, we were
here?
in Womford. We were in Womford previously before we went here, right? That's where we had the whole thing with the circus and the tongueless people.
That was
No, wait,
all the way
Daggerford.
back in Daggerford. Womford was
Daggerford.
where y'all got drunk, met... No, you didn't even meet Cromwell there. Cromwell met you guys a little bit further, earlier than that. Y'all drank some, so you took a swim in the river, I believe, and then you kept going along your way. So you guys are here currently.
Yeah.
My mouse. Oh, that's right. The wrong thing. Y'all are here. You can see, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So as you can see, there is no river path to Red Larch. Right.
I mean, if he drops us at the Bargewright, that's like 36 miles, and if he lets us off here,
he could let you off multiple places, but his point was like, this is, I guess, if you want to, like, I guess you open up your map, and I'm guessing you're asking him to chart it out to him. He's like, you do need to understand, like, this whole area is contested territory. There are giants roaming around, running from the Forlorn Hills over into here for God knows what reason. scum bastards. There are onkegs all over the place. I'm sure you've seen one or two. There's all sorts of nasty stuff all in this area. So if you guys choose to, I can drop you off here. I could drop you off here. I could drop you off anywhere, really, along the river. But the safest path, which is the most traveled path, would be to go along here on the island.
What do you think, lads? The Bargewright, or do we want to fight it out?
Hold on. You said something about the giants. Are we don't have we're not in good standing with the giants?
No.
Oh,
What?
Every
are
giant
their
we've
own...
come across, we fought and killed.
So giants are kind of their own faction. They do as they see fit. They have a leader.
Really?
And she is... How do I put this nicely? Large. Very large. And her goal...
Out of character. Didn't we find a giant with a cultist emblem on him?
Yeah, that was over here, though. So
But that was a different kind of giant. That was like
that was a
blood
Fury.
something giant.
Blood Fury.
Blood
giant.
Fury.
Blood Fray. You have fought another giant that was in this area. Remember, like in the cave or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
He's just saying giants in general. Like, not all giants just live here, like the hill giants. He's just saying giants in general have been roaming up from the Forlorn Hills and like further down south, up north. He doesn't know why.
It's specifically saying that there are giants here.
He's just saying in the area, like they could be here, anywhere. They're just making their way up north to here. He doesn't know where they're going once they get into here.
And so that's sort of why. Okay.
Yeah. So the one you fought most recently did have Earth cultist symbology. You'd be correct.
Okay.
Let me see if I can show you guys.
And we are.
Oh, 1 second. So if you click on...
And who are we pretending we're with?
I don't know if you're pretending to be with anybody.
The water
We're not-
cultists.
I don't
We're
know if you-
mercenaries. We're not really. We're not pretending to be anyone. We
Yeah.
can
Well,
be
okay,
with
the people that were
mercenaries.
literally in their base of.
Yeah, they're the water cultists. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, but like I said, nobody's
We are
asked if
kind
you
of
guys are...
we're kind of pretending to be with them. Yeah, they have. DQ had to like state his fealty to the princess.
Oh yeah, you're
Oh,
right.
Yeah. That was because they fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So I mean, yeah, that's what you told the dumb people in the fort. But you like Sholar doesn't necessarily know this. I mean, you can make an assumption, I guess, if you want, one way or the other. But he doesn't necessarily have had interactions with these common layfolk who are fanatics about the princess.
Probably a good call to continue pretending to be part of the water cultists.
Yeah. No arguments regarding that at all. I'm just saying, like.
So what I'm trying to get across is that the earth cultists are not aligned with the water cultists. That was my question, essentially,
So
about the giant.
You haven't been told one way or the other if they are aligned. You just know that the water cult is working with them. Whether they're aligned or not could be a different thing. But he's just saying that there are giants in the area. He hasn't said like whether they're with a group or not with the group. He's just saying like there are giants coming. We don't know why.
Yeah, and I'm trying to, in character, get more information about the relationship between the cultist groups.
Okay. Okay, cool. Got it. I thought you were asking me as the DM, and I was like, well, you haven't found that information out yet.
Well, yes, it's
I
been a
understand.
while.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Like,
So you asked Shalar, like, kind of like who's with who. He's like, ain't that a question? All right. So we, as the water group, the water cultists, we don't call ourselves cultists. That's weird. We are the water folk. We are aligned with kind of in a tenuous alliance, if you want to even call it that, with the Earth cult. The Earth cult and the Air cult really don't get along, and we're kind of ambivalent with regard to the Fire cult. I mean, they're fire, we're water. You know, just as it is. Like it's not like, you know, water is better than fire or fire is better than air or anything like that. It's just more like they've got different ideals, right? And
Sure,
so we find that our ideals, for some reason and somehow, still align closest with the Earth cultists, which I'm just between the few of us, not the biggest fan of. I feel like I feel like we could do better than them, but I mean, who am I to argue with Jolliver or the person above him? You know, just above my pay grade. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm also not a huge fan of them Earth cultists.
He's like, kindred spirit. I see.
Exactly. What's real weird? So you were talking about all these giants and stuff coming from the north. We ran into an Earth cultist, right? South. We ran into an Earth cultist giant. You know anything about that?
And he sits there and he's like, "That is above my pay grade to disclose."
No, that's fair. Fair enough. Don't want to get you in trouble.
Yeah, like I don't know where y'all are at on the.
Well, see, like here's the thing: like you drop us off in the middle of the field or whatever, right?
Okay.
And then we run into a giant. I don't want to just be killing random giants that might be allies to us. You know what I'm saying?
No. Oh, sorry. That's what you were asking. Nah. If they're looking to fight, you kill them. We don't fucking care.
All right.
For us, it's like we're a what's a good way? He's thinking that he's like, how folks, we are like water. You know, we ebb and flow. We're tyrannical. We're stormy, we're calm. It really just depends on your mood, right? It's all about your mood. And if it's in your mood to fight with these giants and kill them, hey, better for you. If you're worried for your life, which causes a tempest in your soul, perhaps, have at it. But if you don't want to fight them and you can convince them not to kill you, that's also up to you. We are not here to force you to kill or not kill things with regard to giants, as they are, let's just say they've killed more than they haven't.
All right, fair enough.
But yeah, I mean, it's not just the giants from the Earth cult that are coming up.
Oh sure, yeah. I mean, I understand that it's a fairly dangerous land. I just want to make sure that we're not stepped on any toes we shouldn't be.
I mean, as long as you're not like marking them saying, yeah, we're the boys that killed the giants, like you're probably fine, right? Who's gonna know that you killed them?
Fair point.
I cannot remember. Did DQ leave his initials in that big blood one's butt? I cannot remember if he left his signature behind.
So are you saying that in real life, like in game?
No, that's in character. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm asking if you're saying that like in character. Okay, I'm just checking.
Yeah.
He's like, huh. Don't know if I'd recommend that, boys.
Like I said, I cannot remember if the man's done it, and I could be completely wrong.
Our calling card's usually stripping them of all their useful goods and walking away with them.
I see. And he kind of looks over at Useless. He's like, that's why you have all the bedrolls. I like it. Got it. I was gonna ask, but I wasn't sure if that was my place, because like, what normal man carries 4 bedrolls with them, huh? But if that's your calling card, you know, I'm all for it. Just like water, the ebb and flow of water. You take.
I'll look over at Useless. I'm like, you still have those bedrolls, laddie?
You know it.
Oh dear.
He's just been carrying them the entire time. I just want everybody to know, like, his backpack has 1 on the top, 2 on the side, and 1 on the bottom, and then he has his, which is inside the pack. Right, so it's 4 extra.
Like when I sleep, I stack them all, so I'm like,
so comfy.
Comfort.
Wait, so he ended up not taking that huge wooden box that was there too?
I think he is also currently still currently has that, I think. However, I have no idea how that's working. My guess is that his backpack is inside the box.
I don't think I actually have it. I'm pretty sure.
Wizard, man.
Pretty sure I left it.
Got it. I was gonna say
that's cool stuff with magic.
I was gonna say that. What I was gonna say is like you put your backpack in the box, and then you take some rope and tie the box to you, and you just carry. You just have this giant wooden 5 foot by 2 foot box on your back as you walk around. Could be a body. Could be nothing in there. Nobody knows.
Out of character, I don't care where we go.
Sure.
So the rest of the group wants to decide.
And like I said, he's just telling you he doesn't care where he drops you off. He literally just doesn't care. but I was giving you guys information that like there's been sightings of
No.
dangerous
I,
things.
I generally like the idea of going to the maybe Bargewright Inn and trying to catch a ride or a cart or something to just speed up the whole process of getting back to the Red Larch.
Sure.
Yeah, I reckon that sounds good to me.
Okay. And so upon hearing that, he's like, all right, well, this will take us probably the entire day to get down to Womford, Bargewright. I'm guessing you'll spend the night there and head on your way to Red Larch.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Well, that's totally fine with me. All right. Are you guys ready to go? Are you waiting for somebody? Need to talk to someone? Anything like
Like
that?
literally on your boat.
Yeah, but like
Yeah, we
you
kind
know,
of ended the session on the boat.
I know. He's just saying like, do you guys need to say farewell to anyone? Are you guys good to just leave?
I think we're good to go.
Okay.
And I know we have still a day ahead of us, but if you have any recommendations of where we can stay at the Bargewright Inn for the night, if you know someone that's trustworthy,
Sure.
let us know.
And he laughs and he says, "Well, there's only one inn in the Bargewright Inn. The Bargewright Inn, huh? Huh?
Yeah,
Like,
that
it's
makes
his
that
name.
makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But I
There's
mean,
no like competition though.
no, it's literally
Man.
that is what the town is centered on. The Bargewright Inn is
Cutthroat
the
business.
it's the center point
Okay.
of that town. Womford is right around, like he's like literally right across the river from them. So Bargewright and Womford do a lot of trade, and like people go back and forth frequently for work. Most
I
people.
say we go. I say we go check out what all the big deals about Bargewright Inn.
For sure.
Made a whole town about it.
Oh god.
Gotta be good.
Yeah, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Who knows? He's like, yeah. I mean, I don't think it's all that special personally, but I mean, to those who don't know the world, it's an awesome place, huh? Oh, I lied. Bargewright Inn is not just an inn. I apologize. There is a massive inn that the town is centered on, but it is like an actual town. I apologize for all citizens of Bargewright.
As you should.
Yeah, there is only the inn though. Like that is the
Okay.
biggest thing in the city, but it is. And he's like, it's pretty well fortified actually, surprisingly, right? It's mainly an inn, but there is there is one inn, and there's some markets, and people travel between there and Womford frequently. But yeah, no. So
And since you suggested that we could like possibly catch a ride there with someone.
oh yeah,
do you
no,
know any?
100%. There are carts for rent, and you can easily charter one. You being adventurers and all that, I assume, and now newly minted water cultists, I'm sure. Ooh, you guys had a one-on-one meeting with the big man Jollifer. I'm sure he gave you a pretty penny. You could probably get an easy cart ride from Bargewright to Red Larch. Not having to worry about
Fair
money.
point. Anyone in the order in Bargewright Inn that we could talk to?
I mean, probably a conversation we could have later in the day when we actually make it there. But
Sure, yeah, no
Oh,
worries. I'm just trying to think if there
good
is some...
to get out of the way now.
Yeah,
Think
good.
I'm just I think it's a good idea. This is out of character, not in character. That
Mm.
if we can come into Red Larch with other cultists, it'll make us look better to the cultists and get in on the inside and then kill them all.
What about the people that aren't cultists, though? You haven't thought about them, have you?
They don't know the cult exists.
Maybe.
That's true. But then won't they be surprised when we kill all the cultists? And they think we're cultists.
Hey, that is not wrong. Okay.
I know
Yeah.
I'd be surprised.
So are you asking specifically if there's like cultists there? Like water cult people there? Is that what you're asking?
Someone who would, a water cultist who would be willing to cart us up to Red Larch.
Okay, so with that, he's like, no major cultists really stay at the Bargewright. Most of us kind of hang out here in Riverguard or a little bit deeper in. And he kind of sits there. He's like, the major place, and he just kind of laughs. He's like, you know what I'm talking about. I'm sure Jarl will give you the rundown. And he's like, yeah, but most of us just kind of stay between both of those two locations. And I mean, there's obviously people in other towns, but Bargewright is fortunately or unfortunately, not one of those towns that we are worried about. He's like, well, I guess we stay in Bargewright once in a while, so I guess we would be the ones that are cultists that are hanging out there with the crushing wave. But that's really about it, just mostly us. And if there's some folks that want to get a drink outside of the keep, they come with us, drop them off at Bargewright. They get a little too rough sometimes, and we kind of deal with it there.
All right, fair enough. Guess we're not getting a discount or nothing. That's fine. We got plenty of money.
He sits there, he's like, if you got any contact with the Zentarum, there might be something a little special there for y'all. But unless if y'all don't got those, then yeah, it's pretty much just a regular town, no discounts.
DM,
sure.
Out of character, useless. If I recall, I just remembered something that you should talk to this captain about books for your Zentarum thing.
So what you guys heard is that there was a skipper in Womford that had the books. You're not sure necessarily who that skipper is, but could be a question you asked this team. For sure.
Yeah, it was just something I kind of remembered. Sorry.
Sure, yeah, no worries. I'm just letting you know, like, the information you guys have. It's actually just, like, you just know that there's somebody in Womford that was selling those books that you're looking for, useless. But he didn't tell you who it was. But, you know, there's somebody that is on a ship in Womford that was selling these books a while back.
Yeah.
Cool. And he's like, well, if there are no further questions, let's get on the road. Get it? Because we're going by river. No. All right. Well, y'all are enjoy. This is gonna be a very dry ride, I'm sure. And here we go.
I hope it's gonna be dry.
And he laughs. Here we go. So the boat does look much bigger than they showed on the screen because I hated how small that boat was. I thought it was lame. So here's your bigger, better boat, ladies and gentlemen.
Nice.
No.
Well done.
Thank you.
Build this.
I did build this. It took a long
This
time,
looks
actually.
delightful.
It took a long, mostly because I couldn't get the curves to feel like they were, and they still don't feel correct, but this was as close as I could get it. They didn't feel like they were symmetrical, and it bugged me. Like, I don't know if it's my eyes that are just bad.
Can you imagine building your boat where you have the planks of wood facing different directions?
Yeah, right?
It is.
That's what I'm saying. No,
really
like
funny.
it was like the curves were still going outwards, right? Not going like inwards one and then outwards the other side. They were both going outwards, but they just didn't feel symmetrical. I don't know if my eyes are just that god awful, having to stare at a screen most of my life now, it seems.
I don't.
But yeah.
Yeah. I think it looks kind of close.
Yeah,
You just count
it's close enough. No, I did that, and I also did I did a bunch of shit.
There's an odd number in the middle.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Yes, I did do it well. Like I said, it just took a long time. It wasn't even like anything else on the boat was difficult. It was literally just making the outside of the boat took 90% of the time, which is god awful. But yeah, here you guys are out on the river, and you're just kind of floating along. Shalar and his men are kind of manning the ship, walking around, and yeah, this is what you guys can see. What would you guys like to do on said boat? Ask the crew.
Which way is heading downriver?
You guys are heading down this way.
And I'm assuming these guys are crew?
Yeah, everybody on the boat that's not you guys are part of the crew. They're just different kinds of folks.
I'll just cross the deck here and I'll go up to Shaladar and I'll say,
Shalar.
Shalar, what is Shalar, by the way? What is his what is he?
Wow, you're asking what this man is.
I'm asking you to describe him. I don't know what he is.
He's a water genasi.
He's a water genasi.
Do y'all know what a genasi means?
I do.
No.
Alright, so genasi are, think like genies mating with humans. They're like elemental beings that have an affinity towards one way or the other. Typically it was thought previously, got it, Orc. It was thought of previously that like water or like, you know, elemental beings would mate with some humanoid creature somehow, either through a dream, that's why people thought they were like genies, or through other ways, and their children where the Genasi is what their race is called. So there's 4 different kinds. There's water, earth, fire, and air. Curiosities as to the game, how there's 4 different cults. Who knows? Maybe. But they were introduced in this campaign, the Genasi people. He is a water Genasi. And I believe this is your first Genasi you guys are meeting. Because you've met some Fathomers, but they're not Genasi. They're a little bit different. So yeah. He's a water Genasi. He's a man in his like mid-30s, you would say. He's got blue tinted-ish skin. Looks sea color. Not river color, but like sea color specifically. So it's more of a like, it's more blue than it is green, like you would see in a river. And I guess it's darker. What I'm trying to say, it's darker than this color that's currently on your screen.
Got it.
He's fairly muscular. He's a ship captain, so he's done the whole shipping work. So he's, pulled the ropes. He's swabbed the deck. He's rowed. He's done all the things. He's pretty well built. He's got some scars here and there. He seems very confident in what he is as a person.
Definitely an able seaman, if we were to ask his rating, if not a captain.
Yes.
Well, he's a captain.
He is a seaman that is able. You are correct.
If you're not familiar with old ship ratings, able seaman is someone who's definitely passed most of his ratings. He would definitely be below officer class, but he's basically someone who's been on the boat for a while.
Yes.
So.
Ulrich, you can bring your HP back to normal. It still says you're 3 out of 51, just with a heads up. Y'all haven't done that dream sequence yet. Cool. So yeah, so you walk up to Shalar.
So I'll say, excuse me, Captain. How long will the journey take, do you think?
He's like, well, we talked about this earlier. It's gonna take the full day.
Aye, laddie. But is there any unpleasantness? Has there been any unpleasantness on the river? You might say any danger.
No, not really.
No signs ambush or anything like that?
No, I mean we kind of patrol these waters as the Crushing Wave group, and yeah, we haven't had any issues. I mean, there are sometimes a wayward pirate or privateer. We kind of sternly talk to them, and from there they either leave between Yartar and Womford, or they join our fold, as it were. Seeking a better life with the princess.
Question for the DM. How big is this river? Like how wide?
Yes, you take the measuring tool, and I believe.
So I mean, this is how wide it is. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna say it's 150 feet roughly.
I just want to make sure if it's wider than what we see on the screen.
I mean, it probably is, right? So let's go to the map.
Yeah.
It probably is a little bit bigger in real life, but I didn't feel like making the map infinitely large to measure that. Actually, it's probably it's really not that wide. 1 second.
Yeah.
See if we can find the widest.
It's just
one.
more of a matter of like we can easily see what's going on shore.
It's probably a mile wide. Probably a mile wide. So yeah, you could definitely see what on either shore what's happening.
Okay.
I mean, you guys are right in the middle, so it might be like kind of tough, but you can see the shore. If there was a shore, like you could see like the land on each side, but not too much further out from there, probably.
Okay.
Right, and then I guess my last question, I guess that answered most of my questions. Like, thank you for the information. I'll go on and sit on the back of the boat if you don't mind. And I just kind of wander back, and I just kind of sit back here.
Yeah, he's like, just make sure to stay out of my crew's way. If they ask you to move, please move so we can make this trip as quick as possible.
I'll be as quiet as the proverbial mouse, laddie. You'll nae see me.
Alrighty then. Yeah, so the crew is just kind of hanging out, doing their normal crew duties. Once in a while, you'll see a couple of the guys kind of walk. Can I not? Oh, that's why. Haha, silly me. You'll see a couple of the guys just kind of walk in and out from here, playing some games, and then they'll, come out after a little while and swap with another person. So this kind of just happens every like hour or so. Another person kind of comes back in and swaps out accordingly. So yeah, you guys do anything while you guys are wandering out at sea? You guys talking to anybody? Guys just chilling? Y'all like chatting with each other?
I'll just translating my book. I guess I'm just trying not to get seasick.
Yeah, I'm sitting back there reading the barbarian book.
Okay. Okay. Anybody else do anything interesting?
I think I'm gonna try to juggle my one ball.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So with that, it's a fairly smooth ride. Night starts to fall, and you hear Shalar say, "All right, boys, we
Hold on.
are."
How do you fail at juggling your one ball?
I said I'm gonna attempt
He's
to.
gonna attempt to. He
Yeah.
didn't say he's gonna fail.
Well, that
Yeah.
if you are attempting, that implies that you can fail.
Fair enough. I guess it's fair. Yeah. I mean.
I think saying I'm attempting just implies that I can attempt it.
I mean,
Yeah,
I,
but-
I would put the argument, right? Like when you toss the ball in there, it doesn't always mean you're going to catch it when it comes down. Some people drop it.
Exactly. I'm clumsy and dumb.
He's not the most dexterous. We have.
Fair enough.
No,
fair
I actually do have like quite a bit of dex, but I'm just not very smart. It's because I'm crafty.
Yes. That's.
Yeah, my
Um,
street smarts.
yeah, there we go. So Shalar says, yeah, we're getting into Bargewright now. If y'all are ready to board, we'll get you guys off here. He kind of looks at it, he's like, yeah, sun's setting pretty quickly, so I'd probably recommend y'all get into the Bargewright pretty quickly if y'all want to go into the inn, if that's what you guys are game planning. And yeah, you guys get off the boat. Y'all end up here. Oh god. Why? I don't want this. 1 second, let me fix the map. There. Ta-da. I don't feel like having you guys like try to figure out where all the things are. It's nighttime, so it's darker than this. Go ahead and put y'all's characters like over here somewhere.
Which town is it?
This is the Bargewright.
Oh.
I can let that.
Am I tiny? Let's
No, you're
see.
regular size, probably.
Where am I?
Oh, actually, don't put your characters on there. You're just there. I realize that this map isn't grid sized. It's just a fun
I'm
map.
big enough.
Yeah, we're in tiny town.
Yeah,
What is this, a town for ants?
pretty much. Yeah, so that's definitely what it looks like, right?
Needs to be at least twice this size.
Yeah, here, 1 second. Let me move this over. There you go. Ta-da. Bargewright Inn. So cool, yeah. So y'all end up kind of getting off around here. And yeah, one second now. I didn't, like I said, I had a few different things planned. Was not expecting this. You guys always do things I'm not always expecting, and that's okay. Cool, yeah, so you
Are we not
guys.
supposed to go to the Bargewright Inn?
No, it's fine. I thought y'all were just gonna get off midway point or go to
Now,
Womford. It's
hang
okay.
on then, laddies.
No, you guys are here. It's fine. I
No,
got
no,
it
I
all.
know.
I'm ready.
I'm just looking at useless, and I'm saying, useless laddie. Tomorrow, before we get on this this cart ride, you want to go across the river and go see if we can find those books you're looking for. Is that the thing you're interested in?
Yes, that's the thing I'm interested in.
I reckon I'll take that journey along with you, except this time will be a bit more on me better behavior. Then I want to spook the horses, if you know what I mean, like I did last time. I'm still a wee bit embarrassed about it. Aye.
Okay.
He seems
Fine.
he seems like he really believes you there.
But
I mean, I was trying to be persuasive and honest, but okay.
You need to roll a persuasion check.
what a
Why
book
not?
are you
Get it
guys
out of the way.
looking for?
What did you ask there?
He has to roll a
What?
persuasion check.
But what books are y'all looking for?
I'm looking for more books related to the one you're translating for me.
Ooh, you definitely got my interest. You guys got room for one more?
Sure, I
that
could
could
use
be it.
This is some real interesting stuff
someone
you
else
got
for
here.
Anybody else coming along on this adventure?
This is gonna be tomorrow, though, right?
Split the party, split the party.
Heck yeah.
That would be
I'll-
tomorrow in games day turn, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'll tag along with them.
Okay. Anybody else want to come along for the adventure?
I will Let's tag along.
Oh god, all of you. Okay, are you all just gonna come?
Let's do it.
Oh, it is a full day adventure. Wait, what? Yeah.
We'll leave you in the inn.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We don't want you, Prince.
Is that what you say to him?
No.
No, we're just gonna leave his little lordship in the inn to sleep, and then we'll come get him when we go catch the cart.
His little lordship. Y'all are like real rude. I feel like just because you found out that he's a prince. Y'all are treated differently.
I'm not saying this in character. I'm just talking shit because I can
Sure,
talk
Prince
shit
is
when he's
a
not here. But
group of cultists, so not great, not good look.
That's fair. I'm just saying. Seems a little.
I'm pretty
rude.
sure Ulrich is speaking in character. I am currently out of character.
No, I have my character voice. I'm not doing it.
Hey, he's not wrong. One sec as I make this map for y'all real quick. But yeah, so you guys kind of wander into town, and you guys just see it was once a hilltop wayside inn, previous to this, hence its name, and now it is a bustling center point, not of like commerce or trade or anything fancy like that. It has peoples, right? It's got a full gate set up. It's got different areas for rent over here, meant for stalls and other marketplace ventures or just future ventures of commerce or people moving in. But currently there is a market set up over here. It's a very small set of stalls. You get general goods. You can restock on arrows, etc. Kind of get all of your gear kind of polished up and looking spiffy. You've got obviously the outer gate over here. You've got the one and only Bargewright Inn, which is this big guy. And this is kind of like you're talking to a dude as you guys could get to the day. He's explaining what all these things are because he realizes he's never seen you before, so he's assuming you guys are adventurers. These are the stables for the inn, which is a massive building. And you guys when you guys are in the Red Larch, the Swinging Sword is a very large inn, and they even have they're profitable enough to have their own kind of backside set for stables. But this is an entire building that's massive that you guys have never seen before. And yeah, you just got other major big points here, and you realize as you kind of walk in that most of the stuff here seems to be owned by the inn. Even like you got people that are like hanging out and like sleeping. They look like guards and like other people from maybe unsavory types that you have never really worked with before or hung out with for the most part. But they're there, hanging out, and you're greeted at the front by where is this person's name? I'm so sad. Yes, you see a human female walk out. She's looks a little cold at y'all and says, got some adventurers coming to town late at night from the river. And she's like, hello, my name is Chalaska Marin. She's like,
How do you spell that name?
Yeah, Chalaska, and then Muruin. So you might think it's pronounced Muruin, but it's Marin because that's the way I'm pronouncing it. And so she's like, I'm guessing y'all are here to spend the night and be on your way in the morning, like everyone.
Yeah, isn't that? I'm confused. Isn't that how it's supposed to go?
Some
Yes.
people want to stay. Maybe some
You
people want to set up
you
shop.
sound like you're upset that we're using the inn as an inn.
Nah. It's just we're expecting some folks that are going to be renting out the space, these stalls that are just wide open, costing me and my folk money to just have them sitting there, not being used. And y'all don't got no gear to sell, don't look like you have any plans to stay that long. So, I'm just a little weary waiting for these folks. Supposed to have been here a day ago now and just don't know where they're at.
I beg in your pardon, good lady, a good landlady. You say that people are missing. What kind of people were you expecting? What were they? Were they merchants?
I wouldn't say missing. I would say late. They're always late. These stupid merchants from Waterdeep, always fucking late.
You can't trust large city folk, now can you?
Nope. But you gotta do business with them to stay alive, right? Especially when you're a small town like this, you gotta do business with the big towns. Otherwise, you're gonna get run out of town.
Hey, I reckon you're correct. As it stands, we would like a night in your Fairborough Inn, and if it's possible, we'd like to arrange for transport, perhaps in the afternoon tomorrow. We've got a wee bit of a job to do tomorrow, in acquiring an item, and then after that, we'd like to possibly hop a cart up to the Red Larch, where we have some additional business, you might say.
Ooh, items, you say? What kind of items are we looking at here, boys? We
Oh,
sell
it's-
some things in this town. Might be able to help you
Well,
out.
what we're looking to acquire is near my place to say. If that particular gentleman chooses to say, that's on him. But what might you have for sale, my lady?
Well, what you all in the business it for? Maybe that's a better
Well,
question.
I'm a wee bit of a healer, and if you have medicines, potions, and the like, I could, my ingredient bag could do a wee bit of filling.
Interesting. Well, if you guys go back in the morning, you'll find out that the marketplace has, let's just say, a good amount of folks that might be able to help you out, huh?
Your wisdom and kind words are well appreciated, lady. Now, what would it cost for us to rent perhaps a room or two for the evening, and possibly a wee bit of fine sustenance?
Yeah.
And
So
perchance a beer?
she looks at you guys and she's kind of like sizing you up and she's like, y'all seem to be pretty well off adventurers.
I'd also like to let it be known I'm laying it on a wee bit thick.
Yeah, and she can tell. So there may or may not be
Okay.
consequences based off that.
Oh dear.
I mean, could be good, could be bad.
Have them roll a persuasion to see how well it's working.
Yeah, I was going to after in a second. So she's
Gotcha.
just kind of sitting there and she's like, y'all think you're brave adventurers? Y'all think that you got pretty penny? So how about this? How about this?
So
It
it
is-
is forward.
Maybe she is, yeah. So she sits there and she's like, how about this? I will give it to you guys. I'll give you a room that'll house all of you for 2 gold a night. And now you can roll your persuasion to try to get a cheaper rate for the room if that is what your goal is.
Y'all not have more than one room, or
She's like, oh, if you all want to make it more expensive, yeah, we can definitely get you
I
guys more
mean,
rooms.
no offense to my what would begin my compatriots here. Kind of want my own place, at
Sure.
least for one night. You
Yeah.
guys,
Be a gold each then? Gold per room. How about that, huh?
I'll take a room. I'll let the
Yeah,
rest of them
that-
figure it out.
That sounds good to me. I'll take
Me
my
too.
own room.
Oh, okay. All right. So 1 room for everyone. All right. It's 1 gold each of you for the night.
And
Or I'll go on separate.
I'll pay for Cromwell's.
Yeah, sure. If that's what you guys want to do. If you guys
Thank you.
want to be separate, feel free to.
Uh,
Y'all can
1
bunk
gold a
together.
night.
I appreciate it.
Y'all can bunk together. Like, do not feel like you need to be apart just because that's the way the way this is fallen right now.
I got so much gold on me right now.
Sure.
I'll get a room and then I'll also bunk with DQ because
Sure. 'Cause he's
no
not here.
one's doing that for him. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's-
you beat me to it. I was waiting just to get my way in, get my word in edgewise.
I mean, you could fight for it. You could fight to have DQ live with you guys. I'd love to see it.
He can still summon up that ethereal goblin that I don't want to deal with right now. So I'll look at Useless and I'll pat him on the shoulder. Like, that's very kind of you, laddie. You beat me to it, but that's very kind of you.
Sounds like you're backing off from a persuasion off.
What a bitch.
And I'll look back at the landlady, and it says, "It would seem that we're all looking for individual rooms as it stands, and our fine lizard friend here, who has a said note, will be spending the night with our orc friend over there. So we'll all pony up a gold tea, and if you show us to our rooms, we'd be very grateful. And do you have a a hot spring or a hot bath available, possibly?"
She's like, yes, of course we do. It'll be part of
Oh, that will be lovely.
Yes, she's like, that is part of your 1 gold fee.
I pull out the 1 gold coin and I hand it over.
Excellent. She's like, oh no, not to me, not to me. I am not the innkeeper. Let's just say I keep the town in order. I will show you to the innkeeper, and she kind of, you guys are.
Oh wait, when she says she's not the innkeeper, she keeps the town in order. Can I do a perception check and kind of get a description of her?
Sure. I mean, she's standing right in front of you, so it won't be a high perception requirement. Yeah,
It's fine.
Good thing. She's a woman in her 50s. She's got some gray hair in there. She's very well built. You can tell she looks like she's an ex-mercenary, or ex-guard, or she's an ex-combatant, let's say. Not as old as Ulrich, because we all know Ulrich is old as shit. But getting on in her years.
Is she human?
Yes, she's human. So she's like in her 50s. So she's fairly old for a human, we'll say.
Very old for a human woman at that period, but sure.
I mean, she's hardy.
Harsh.
Yeah,
Don't call her out like that.
I guess so. Yeah. Fortunately, you're not saying anything in character. This might not be pretty for you. Yeah. So she's like fairly well built. Stands at about 5'2". She's short, obviously, even for human standards, but she's got an air about her that kind of requires respect, and she seems to command the men well. Like as she kind of barks orders once in a while, and like the guys are just kind of running around and doing what she's telling them to do. Ulrich, make a. I'll let you choose history or perception for kind of figuring out whether she was military or not. Same thing with you, Cromwell, I guess. If you want to, you don't have to.
How about insight? Insight seems to make more
Sure,
sense.
yeah, insight is cool too. That's fine.
So
Insight
my perception. But I
or
think
history?
History, perception, or insight. Because y'all are old ex-military folks. Yeah, so with that 20, Cromwell, you can tell she's not from the military. She definitely seems like an old mercenary, and she seems like she rose up through the ranks of the mercenary group to be like of similar level to Ulrich, but obviously not in a military structure. And it seems like all these folks are ex-mercenaries from the looks of it, but they act in a very militaristic style, which is intriguing, perhaps, to both of you guys. They're not kind of like a ragtag bunch looking for money anymore, at least it seems, but you can tell based off like the way they carry themselves and the way that they have got like scars and like the way just their mannerisms, that they are not military like, but they're doing military like duties as in this current predicament that they're in, for better or worse.
So they might have actually been part of perhaps a military,
No, they're
basically
they're
a mercenary
mercenaries.
band.
Yeah, they're a mercenary band, and it seems like they
Yeah,
all
so-
respect and like fear maybe is a good word for what.
Well, I
they feel
my
for-
thought is more of a, like, the Italians called them the condottieri, soldiers for hire.
Sure.
They were soldiers that they were mercenary armies that city states would hire out to conduct their wars. Like when Florence and Venice went to war with each other, they didn't have their own armies. They hired the condottieri.
Sure. Yeah, so similar to that. But yeah, she kind of carries that aura that Ulrich carries, perhaps still, but definitely did back when he was active in the military, where people just respect him and kind of do what they're told and don't really question it, at least out in public in front of other people. But yeah, they seem pretty well disciplined for this group of ragtag group people, it seems like. And she leads you guys to the front of the inn, and a little half elf kind of walks in. She's like, "Ah, yes, hello. How are you doing, Chalaska?" And she's like, "Hello, Nalisker. We've got some guests for you. They are well paying. They will each be paying 1 gold, and some of them will be bunking together. Others will be sleeping alone. Make sure that they have warm water for their baths, and they have nice food for dinner tonight." He's like, "Yes, yes. Right this way, gentlemen. Right this way." And it's a little half elf, leads you guys in. And
What was the half elf's name?
Nalasker, Nalasker.
Is he the tavern owner?
He's the inn owner. He owns the Bargewright Inn, or the old Bargewright, as they call it. So y'all are in this building here, for reference.
And I'm assuming we've paid at this point.
Yeah, I would say so.
Before I go into my room, I'll look at Nalasker and I'll say, "Excuse me, landlord, or do you prefer Nalasker?"
He kind of sits there and he thinks for a second. He's like, Nalasker's probably fine.
Well, Nalasker, my compatriots and I are potentially looking to book passage on a cart, heading towards Red Larch tomorrow. In the preferably leaving in the afternoon. Who might we want to talk to get that done?
Ah, yes. You guys are headed over to Red Larch, is what you said, correct?
Aye, sir, we were.
All right. So we got 3 different carts going at 3 different times to the Red Larch. Each journey will take 4-ish to 6 hours, depending on road conditions and all that. And you'll find that over here. Did I miss? Oh no, I'm good. You'll find them over in here. This building right here. And just speak to the one guy in charge. His name is Lathander. Yes, I know it sounds like a god's name. His parents thought very highly of him. He's not that good looking, nor is he that good of a person. He will try to cheat you on the original fare. Definitely barter with him. He likes to barter, so he's gonna throw you a very high cost in hopes that you guys will negotiate down. And if you don't, I mean, hey, he's fine to take your money. But just as something I like to tell people that seem to get on Chalaska's good side. Yeah, so he has 3 different carts and he kind of looks like, ooh, there's a lot of y'all. Okay. Might require 2 carts because you got some big folks with y'all. But I mean, if you make it worth his while, he'll send them together instead of at 2 separate times. But he will try to cheat you on the amount of money it's going to cost you the first offer. But
Well, I appreciate the information.
But he is the only rider in town, so don't piss him off. I guess I don't know. Y'all do what you got to do. Just don't kill nobody in this town. I really don't. I don't want to have to deal with that. I don't want Chalaska to have to come after y'all. It's just not gonna be worth it. I mean, maybe y'all kill everyone. I don't know.
I'm here and start a full-out war.
Yeah, I think I'd be okay with like a little bit of like a brawl, but nothing too scary.
Sure.
You know, just not for like a little fun with the boys.
I'll just
You know?
kind of
Are you guys-
look over at Cromwell.
Are you guys saying
and I'll
this
be
out
like,
loud? Is my question. And are you guys saying this in character, or is this all table talk?
Me and Cromwell can say that to each other. I feel like that's all right. I think everybody's always a little down for a tizzy, you know.
I'll just say it as a joke. I don't mind a little brawl.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
look at Cromwell and I'll just be
Why
like,
don't we? We'll both finish with a slight chuckle.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
just so that they don't know if we're being serious or not. We want to make them guess. You got to be, you know, imaginative.
Ulrich's like, that's kind of offensive. Not gonna lie. Like, what makes you think we're gonna kill people?
Ulrich, do you think you can keep your friends under your friend Cromwell under a bit of control? We didn't want to start leaving bodies everywhere we
I
go.
don't need to keep them under control. We're not gonna kill nobody.
He
I don't know
seems
why
to
he
think we
came
might.
up. Why? That's what I'm saying. It's offensive.
talk to your lad.
We paid you money. We paid you a good amount of money for 6-year rooms, and now you're saying we're murderers.
What?
It's offensive.
He didn't say that at all. I'm very confused.
All right. You implied we're murderers.
No. He just said
He
like
didn't implied he's just asking us not to start trouble.
just to pull out real quick. Maybe there's a misunderstanding. Table talk.
To be honest, Ulrich, you technically are a murderer if you've
So
been in
just
war.
like I said, let's just
Killed
pull out real quick to table talk. So what he just said is like he just doesn't know how strong y'all are. There's 7 adventurers wandering into his inn. He's just saying like you probably could kill him because he's a regular person, just like he is. Regular people. He's like, y'all probably could kill him, but just I wouldn't recommend it because then shenanigans will go down. That's all he's saying. He's like, if y'all get into a fight with him, feel free. Just don't. Y'all are adventurers.
You don't go and talk to someone with a gun and be like, "Hey, don't kill me."
Y'all are fully decked out with all your weapons. What are you talking about?
I know. You don't just imply they're gonna murder you, though.
No, he's not talking about him. He's talking about the cart dude. Because the cart dude tries to jack up the prices like crazy, he says. He's not talking about y'all killing him. He's talking about don't kill the other guy who's going to...
I want it on the record that I completely understood everything that the guy was talking about, and I did not take any offense to it. And it's those jackholes.
That's fine. I'm just... I realized there was a misunderstanding, I think.
Ulrich does take offensive.
That's fine. I was just wanted to make sure
that he's a murderer for no good reason.
Sure, and that's fine. I just wanted to just make sure we at the table understood what this dude was saying. That's all I was trying to do. We can go back into game. Just wanted to confirm.
No, that was all in character for Ulrich. He's
okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
He's like, well, hey, I just know y'all adventurers sometimes can be rowdy and sometimes can get a little hot-tempered, and we have had adventurers go in, not listen to what I said, talk to him, getting mad because he's charging them like 4 gold pieces per person or some shit, and like they pull out their weapons and like it's just not pretty. I'm not saying y'all will do that. We've had some incidents, so I just gotta. It's just part of my like boilerplate cover my ass speech, if you want to call it that, because she comes after me and she's like, why didn't you warn these guys that this guy racks up the price and not to start fights, blah blah blah. And then I have to sit there and listen to her yell at me for 40 minutes. It's just, I just don't want to deal with that, honestly. I'm not saying y'all will kill no one, necessarily, but it's just part of the boilerplate. And
I completely and totally understand, laddie.
Sure.
You'll may have any problem from me.
Sure. And as he kind of walks you guys upstairs. Shows you guys didn't buy 6 rooms. I think you guys got 4 rooms?
I bought one.
5? Is it 5 rooms? So Lando and Elwarin got separate rooms?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This one. No, I just couldn't remember. Yeah, because I know Ulrich and Cromwell were bunking together, and
I wasn't bunking with anyone.
oh
yeah.
Oh, so it's just Useless and DQ then. Everybody else has their own.
Ulrich
rooms?
paid for my room.
Okay. So we have 6 rooms then. I apologize. I miscounted. Okay, that's fine. Cool. Yeah. So y'all hand over the 6 gold in total, I guess, to this man, and he pockets it, and he says, "Well, dinner will be out in the next 15 minutes or so. Feel free to come downstairs. Yeah, I will see you guys at dinner." He kind of wanders off. Like I said, he's small, short in stature. He seems to have a limp, and yeah. So y'all are in your rooms. Y'all find yourselves in 3 rooms across from each other, pretty much.
And
Like 3 on one side, 3 on the other side. That's what I mean by 3 across from each other.
so I'm gonna go downstairs and find the bath and go take a bath and grab a beer to take into said bath.
Okay. You go down to the kitchen. You ask for a beer. He looks at you. He's like, a barrel or a pint?
I'll take a
pint of
barrel.
You're not there yet. You have to go down and listen to this. You're not there yet.
A pint of your best, landlord, if you please,
Sure.
or perhaps a liter, if you have the liter. I'm a big lad, if you haven't noticed.
That's why I asked if you wanted the barrel. And he kind of sits there. He's like, I can figure something out. And you see him kind of rustle in the back. And he comes out with a square box that seems very large. And you see him take out a couple tools from a drawer. And he kind of hammers onto it. Really, like, this is all within, say, 5 minutes. All within about 5 minutes. He kind of hammers
The guy
in some
botched
nails.
together a liter
Yeah,
container.
pretty much like a big. It's a square though. It's not like rounded. It's a square, and he kind of looks at it and he kind of just shaves off with some woodworking. He sands it down a little bit and makes it nice and smooth. It's still square. He just kind of rounds out the edges a little bit and rounds out the handle. And you see him kind of like hammer in the nails a little bit so they're not like sticking out through the wood or anything like that. And he looks at it. He's like, "This is big enough?"
Hey, that'll do. That's some dab handicraft work.
He's like, "Thanks. I had to learn a trick or two with, let's say, big folks like you coming into my inn requesting shit ton of alcohol."
Oh, it's greatly appreciated. This will be the only one I have, laddie. Don't they worry. I'll need get.
Oh, okay.
I just need to. It's been a trying few days, and
Sure.
I need to unwind.
And he kind of looks at the inside. He's like, "Ah, shit!" And he kind of sands out the inside a little bit to kind of make it smooth and not like prickly. And then he washes it out really quickly and like cleans it really nicely. And then he pours some beer in there from a keg and kind of hands it over to you. He's like, "All right, you want to do over the baths?" Where he's like, "Head down the hall to the right. Can't miss it. Large open bathhouse."
Greatly appreciated. What do I owe you for the beer?
Ah, silver. Just because I had to put that together. That's mainly the cost.
I'll give him 2.
Okay. And he's like, "Excellent, thank you." And he pockets it.
Thank you, sir. I know it was an unnatural request. It was greatly appreciated.
I'm honestly
I'll
just
take
glad
the
you
beer and I'll
didn't
wander off to the hot bath.
He's like, "I'm honestly just glad you didn't take the barrel. That would have been rough."
I'm not unfeeling or unthinking, sir. This
I
is
mean,
greatly appreciated.
It's rough because I'm small and I have to bring another
Oh.
barrel from downstairs. Like, we got the alcohol. It's just the effort of me bringing another barrel is what I was saying was rough. So I appreciate you
Understood,
not
sir.
making me do that.
Completely and totally understood.
Sure, yeah. And so you head off to your bath. Anybody else do anything?
I'm gonna go downstairs and grab a bite of food.
Okay, so that's downstairs. Yep.
Me too.
Okay, yeah. So you guys head downstairs, and
I go up to the innkeeper and I want to ask him, or I guess I just want to put my hand on the bar, kind of, or I guess probably up the bar. Probably have to get on my tippy
nah,
toes.
this guy's kind of short too. It's like
Okay, so
he's
it's
like a little bit taller than you, not by much though, just a little bit taller than you.
So then I'm just gonna gesturally, or I'm gonna slide over and ask him if I can buy some beer, please.
He's like, "Yeah, you looking for a pint? What you looking for there, buddy? What kind of beer you
Do
looking
you have anything bigger than a pint?
He sits there. He's like, "I can make you a liter, or..."
That's great.
And he
Yeah,
kinda-
I'll take one of those.
He's like, "Okay." And then
Yeah.
you see him kind of scratch his head and be like, "Shit, I have to find another one of those." And he kind of he scrounges through the back, and it takes him 10 minutes just to find the box, and then another 5 minutes to kind of put it together. And he finishes off. It looks exactly how I explained it previously.
Yeah.
And he just,
I like it.
He's like, "Should I just..." He kind of looks at you like, "Are all your friends gonna want one like this? Should I make some more? Are you the only one? Are you the last one that's gonna want something like this?"
I think I'm the last one.
Okay. And he kind of just sighs a little bit as he like sands it all off and washes it down and like cleans it up, and then he pours the beer. He's like, "I'll be a silver, please."
Cool. I have 7 of those.
Nice. Also,
Yeah.
one gold equals 10 silver, so he can make change also if you need that.
Yeah. 6 is enough.
Sure. Do you tell this dude your name? Feel free not
Sure.
to. I'm just curious if you say it.
No. I'm cool with it. Yeah. He knows who I am. Or I've said my name in this conversation of him giving me and building me
Okay.
a beer.
And he's like, "Huh, Lando. Where are you from, man? I feel like I heard that name before."
Shit, what's the town's name?
Daggerford is where you're from.
Daggerford. I was just going to go back to my notes. I actually think I wrote that part down. Yes, I did.
I really hope
First
you did.
page.
Yeah, I really
Yep.
hope you wrote that down. It's kind of important.
First page.
Sure. He's like, "Huh." And he sits there. He's like, "Huh."
Huh.
And he kind of looks at me. He's like, "Shit. Ah, fuck. I got something for you here." And he kind of wanders over to the back, and he hands you a letter, and on the letter there's a seal with a snail on it. Like a stamp. Like a,
Nice.
and he's
I remember this guy.
I would hope so. I really would hope
That's how he
so.
lost. Wait, no, that wasn't. No, that was how he lost. That wasn't how he lost Brooke. That was the giant.
Yes.
Well, we fought the cultists. Mr. Leader almost died. Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah. And he hands you this letter, and he's like,
I'm just recognizing again what happened in my head. You know, I'm going through a lot here.
It's replaying through your mind. Yeah, your
This
brain,
is all happening at the bar too.
Yeah, his brain power isn't that
Yeah.
high, guys. It's all literally happening. He's just like, and he's like,
Yeah. I'm a visual guy,
Yeah,
or auditory guy. There we go.
Yeah,
That's all we got.
And he's like, the snail wanted me to tell you that you never bought anything in the Red Larch. So if you wanted to get some stuff from here, well, I got it. I'll just send the bill to him. But he also got this letter to me, and told me to give it to you.
Love it.
He's
That's
like,
awesome.
yeah. Well, if you have any questions or need to talk about, those things, I'm here.
Thank you.
Yeah. Kind of waves you off. Elwarin, you came down for food, right? So I'm guessing I'm gonna say you came down before Lando did. We're just doing this a little bit out of order.
Sure.
So when you came down for dinner, and it's a massive beef stew. It's got onions, for some weird reason, bell peppers, carrots, and tomato. Just chunks of that in the stew. He hands you over a loaf of what you would recognize as a mixture of wheat and barley bread. And it's not the most flavorful bread by itself, but it's really absorbent. So it pairs very nicely with beef stew because the broth is the highlight for a lot of people for beef stew. And this broth is aromatic. You smell 5 different spices and a few different herbs that he's kind of put it in there. And he just kind of smiles. He's like, it's my first batch of the day. I guess you'll have the first taste. Let me know if you like it. He's like, yeah, and the food comes with the stay, so don't worry about that. But alcohol is extra. Sorry, I messed up his voice. His voice was supposed to be like, sorry, the beer will be extra, the alcohol will be extra. He's got like a more raspy voice. I apologize. I'll keep that up from now on.
Oh yeah, no need for alcohol anyways. I'll stick to some water.
Okay, and he pours that out for you. He's like, here you go. He's like, yeah, and take a seat wherever. If you want seconds, you can come. Try not to come back for fourths. I heard some people, the spices doesn't sit more in the tummy on the fourth globe. Some people can't.
I appreciate the warning.
And kind of waves you along. All right, and then Lando comes down, gets his drink. Are you also going to be getting food?
Yes.
All right, so he pours out the same thing, same portions, and he tells you the same thing, like, yeah, if you come back for forts, your tummy might be rumbling, might be not be feeling good, but then he looks over, he's like, you're a dwarf, you might be fine. Have as much as you want, just try to wait till everybody comes down before you finish everything off, though.
Yeah, that's good to know.
Yeah, he waves you off after that. He does it with a smile.
I'm gonna hop over to Ehoox Llus's room.
Sure.
So, why are you so interested in these dwarven books?
And how do I put this? A task I need to accomplish to acquire more knowledge later.
Interesting. Is there a particular reason why it's dwarven? Did you know it was dwarven before you started? Or...
I didn't know it was dwarven before I started.
Seems you guys are real tied up in this dwarven history stuff. It's quite interesting.
Yeah, I'm interested to see where it all goes. Any luck with the book?
Yeah, I'm going through it. It's a pretty detailed history of one particular portion of dwarven history. Looks like the whole series is going to be one of the most comprehensive histories that's ever been written.
Yeah, and by this time you've translated like 90% of the book by this point.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much like you're saying. It's just a very comprehensive history of dwarves currently that are in Mirabar. That's the portion of the volume that you're at. Sorry, continue. I just wanted to give you some more insight.
I guess how long ago is that current portion?
300 years.
300 years.
This is like volume 6, you said?
5 of 10.
5.
5 of 10.
Yeah. So it's it was real interesting. I mean, if there's more of these, definitely. I mean, if you're willing to share the information with me, I'm definitely willing to keep translating them.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, you're the only one who can translate, so I'm gonna need you.
Well, I mean, there are other dwarves. I've seen them at least.
Yeah, but do you think they're gonna talk to me?
Fair enough. Well, I'm gonna head down and get some food, but I'm thinking we as a group should be getting together in privacy of a room, maybe talk about what's going on, what we should be doing next, because a lot has happened and it's only been like 4 days.
All right, I guess I'll go down with you so we can find everyone else.
Cool. Yeah. So y'all head down. You're looking for alcohol. You're looking for food. So it's the game plan.
For food.
Okay. Yeah. So same thing.
Liquids, and it's not poison. Like, I don't know when to drink the water if it'll give me, kill me.
Okay. So you get the food. I'm just gonna guess no water. You'll keep your own water skin. I'm guessing and drink out of that.
No, I mean like it's dirty water. I don't want to like.
Oh no, the water's pretty clean. The town isn't the cleanest, but the water here seems to be pretty clean. Yeah, it's the same thing. Beef stew, really aromatic. Kind of gives you guys the same warnings, but looks at both y'all. He's like, you'll probably be fine. He's like, I'm just more worried about the less constituted folks, if you know what I mean. Or sorry, I'm just worried for the folks that aren't as big and have strong constitutions. They probably can't handle 4.
Telling me.
Yeah. So, but if you want to come back, I think we're just waiting for 2 of your buddies, and you can finish off the pot. We've got a couple other guests, but they're not in right now. Cool. So yeah, so you guys all eating, and then BigYin, you come back from your bath. How long are you spending in this bathhouse?
How much time has passed?
I'm asking you, how long do you want to spend cleaning your body?
I'll just get myself clean and refresh, and then I'll come out all sparkly clean and fresh, and with probably half that liter left, and I'll ask for a bowl. I'll also buy a bowl of the stew and some.
I'm asking you, how long does that take for you to get yourself nice and shiny and clean?
I'm a big boy. It'll take me about a half hour.
All right, half hour it is. How many of you guys do you think are left eating during this half hour? Because Lando and Elwarin came down maybe 5 minutes after BigYin left to go get his bath in. So it's been about 25 minutes that they've been there for, and Ulrich and Ehoox Llus came down maybe 10 minutes after BigYin and Lando. Or Lando and Elwarin, sorry. So it's been about, I'm guessing at least 2 of you guys are still there. I don't know. I don't want to speak for Lando and Elwarin if they're eating fast and going to the room, or if they're just really enjoying the meal. Huh?
My 3rd plate.
Okay.
I was planning on just having 1 plate and then leaving the dining room.
Okay. So, I mean, that's what I'm asking. Like, do you think you'd be finished with your 1 plate in 25 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Pretty sure.
So you and BigYin kind of cross each other as BigYin's walking back from the bathhouse up to the room to change, and you're kind of going also up to your room. That's where you guys meet. And then BigYin heads down to get his food. Same spiel. He doesn't tell you about the 4th serving because he looks at you and doesn't worry about it. Yeah, and then after a little while, DQ comes down, a little sleepy looking. He gets some food. He heads back upstairs. He doesn't drink, which is odd, but maybe that has to do with he's still kind of digesting the story. perhaps. He doesn't want to cloud his thoughts. Yeah, so that's...
I'm assuming I've just taken the food and gone upstairs to find everyone else.
So everybody else is still downstairs.
Oh, okay.
Elwarin
So
is the only
everyone's
one
still
who went
downstairs, and I'll hang out.
Elwarin went upstairs. Everybody else stayed downstairs.
So I'll find the crew and I'll say, "Well, laddies, what's the plan then?"
Well,
Are we downstairs? Yes, we are.
heading over to the town across the way, and we're gonna head over to Red Larch.
Aye, should we not find a place with a bit more, where we might have a bit more, discreet conversation?
Yeah, that's a good idea. I was thinking maybe one of our rooms.
Well, as I have a room to myself, I reckon most of us do. I'll offer me room up as a meeting place.
Sure, sounds good. No reason to rush it though. Have a nice leisurely dinner. It's been a while.
I will luxuriously eat the food and ripping the bread, dipping it in,
Whoa.
taking the soft bits out, and then using that to kind of soak up some of the broth, and using the husk as a trencher, and then finishing up that leader. And when everything's done, I'll bring everything to the guy and return everything, and I'll say, this leader that you made is quite nice. Would you like it back, or or do you have cause for this size mug often, or do you mind if I hold on to it? It may be useful to bring my own mug and then just have the bartenders fill it up wherever I go.
Sure, he's like, so many folks just come in, request a leader. I never have a leader. I should probably invest into some of these cups, but
I'll return this one to you.
He's like, I usually just make them and let y'all keep it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's honestly just like scrap containers, and like I'm good with my fingers and good with my hands, so it's not too hard to make. I'll probably whip up a nicer set so people can return me. You keep that as a we'll say as a remembrance of the old Bargewright Inn. You can spread word around that I'm crafty.
Would you like to make your mark on it then, sir, so that I might point to the maker's mark and send other people your way? It may turn into a nice, fine side trade for you. Perhaps making large woodware mugs for sale.
Sure, he sits there and he's like, thinks about it, he's like, huh. I never really, He thinks about it for a second. He pulls out, he goes back into his office room, brings out a paintbrush, and signs at the bottom, underneath the bottom of your mug, NT, and then he kind of circles that, and with the bottom stroke of the circle, he signs it with a OBI at the bottom. So how this looks is it's a N, or maybe I can draw it here. My handwriting is probably not pretty, but we'll see what happens. There it is, there's my cursor. Freehand. Let's see if I can draw here. Okay, alright, I can draw there. Can I undo that? I hate this so much. Alright, so it looks something similar to this. He does this, and then he does this, and then he does a circle, and then on the downstroke he does this, O, B, and then that's a weird looking eye. He has this cursive eye.
I got it.
He just does that and just does it at the bottom. It looks a lot cleaner than that because my handwriting is garbage with a mouse. But you get the gist. So
yes.
That's what he does. And he's like, maybe I should make a stamp of that. That would be cool. And he's like, enjoy your night. If you're staying another night, just pay me in the morning. It's another gold per room. As you kind of worked out with Chalaska. But for now, I guess just enjoy your night.
Very kind of you, sir. And I'll wander off to my room with the mug.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so y'all are... So I'm guessing one of you went and picked up Elwarin from his room for all y'all to meet in BigYin's room? We'll just say that happened. So y'all.
I'll just go and knock on his door on my way up.
Sure. Yeah. So y'all are now in BigYin's room. It is nighttime. Sun is down. Moon is out. And it's time for some scheming. What's the game plan, guys?
Ooh, boy. Things have been interesting the last few days, haven't they?
Aye, I reckon they have.
So, where are we standing on these cultists? I know one of them's like, we're not cultists, we're an order, but...
Didn't I buy it?
I mean, they could be an order of cultists. Just saying. Continue. I just wanted to put that out there as a joke. It could be the Order of the Air. Who knows?
So, last time we talked, we had a meeting. It was in a cave, talking to a necromancer who was doing business with 4 of these cults. We ran into one of them who kidnapped us.
He wasn't really doing business. They came to him for help, and he promptly turned them away. He's not a fan of cultists, especially ones with additional necromantic leanings, even though he's a necromancer himself. Remember, necromancy in his eyes, well, it's light and it's dark, and he's more of a light necromancer than he is more of a dark evil kind of thing.
Right, yeah, okay.
I'm just saying, he's not as nefarious as you make him out to be.
I just said he had dealings with these cultists. He's a necromancer, he had dealings with cultists. Am I correct?
I like this, that Ulrich is painting things with a very wide brush, and then BigYin's like, nah, see, there are circles within these things that we need to be talking about. And he's like, nah, it still covers in the larger brush stroke, right, guys?
I'm just saying there are gradients to everything, laddie.
I just wanted to appreciate the
and then we got kidnapped by air cultists.
And we helped them, might I point out?
Sorry, what was that?
I'd point out that we helped them and got paid for it.
And you got an envelope.
Well, I mean, we did get kidnapped by cultists, air cultists.
Yes.
All right. Yes, we did get paid by them quite a bit, which is nice. But we killed a giant and some wyverns. Were they actually bad? We don't know.
It was a manticore. You killed a giant.
Manticore. That's right. Then, given their request or their recommendation, we went down. We met some water cultists and found out that our friend is a prince of water cultists or something.
And don't forget that we ran into a giant that somehow was related to the earth cultist.
Right. That's right. And now we're headed back to Red Larch, which is great. Because we really got to get to the bottom of this cultist thing, right? Are we still on the same page on that? Like, I'm not going out on a limb here. I'm not all by myself. Like, yo, we got to do something about these. Are we friends with the cultists?
I feel as if the cultists and at least my task is related.
And what is your task?
I told you. Elwarin and I need to go find this moon elf princess with some magical seeds. She was part of some party at the Mirabor. They got captured or went missing.
And so you're thinking the cultists did it?
Aye. I say we find them, we burn them to the ground.
All right. Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Whoa!
Right.
Where did that come from?
Another wide brush coming through, guys. You got 2 wide brushes.
Jesus,
all right.
Talk about violence, am I right?
BigYin started shading with a pencil. Yeah, BigYin started shading with a pencil, and then he's like, "Fuck it, where's the big brush?"
I forget. Were we allowed to look at or read the letter from the lady at the tower?
I think she
hadn't
said
popped the seal yet.
Yeah, it was recommended that we don't open it because the seal proves that it's really from her.
Yeah.
Well, no, wait. There were 2 letters. There was one for Jollifer, and then
Which
there
you
was the
gave
other
away.
to the town.
Yeah. So she just said like, my seal is on there, so like do with that what you will. I wouldn't recommend breaking the seal just because then it may not seem as authentic.
Right.
Like you guys could have written yourself. But she's like, you do with that what you will. Like I'm not gonna tell you guys what to do.
Sure.
Y'all seem capable enough. And she was shuddering a little bit.
Right. I'm just saying.
She was recommending you didn't do it just because her seal was on it. That was the only reason.
Seems I'm just a bit worried now. I appreciate the gesture, but getting a seal of approval from the leadership of a cult maybe not put us on the right side to some folks.
I agree with that. My question would be, how well known is it that she is part of the cult? Because we weren't aware of it until after we met her.
Well, admittedly, we've only been in town for a few days.
It's true, but we did try to ask some questions about what's going on, and that didn't seem to pop up at all.
Well, I'm pretty sure most of those people we're talking to were part of the cult,
Fair enough.
which is why they weren't answering us. They're like, nah, I don't know what you're talking about. There's no cults here. Which is factually a lie, because literally everyone we've run into has been associated with these cultists since then.
I mean, not the innkeeper thus far.
We're like,
Well, as far as we know.
now.
I mean,
So is this like, are we trying to play this as an inn?
Oh, I mean, now that's an idea.
To
That's
infiltrate, attack and defend, but from the inside.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, hit them where it hurts.
so are you guys staging rebellion at the Bargewright Inn? This is where we
No,
make
we're-
our stand. We will
no,
stand
we're
for no
going-
more cult.
What he
No, we're
means
just talking
is
about
we're
the
gonna-
master plan.
Yeah, go to
Ah.
Red Larch as
Got
if
it.
we're part of the cultists now.
Yeah.
I see. I
And we
liked it
get
better.
in with the cultists.
Got it. See, I had it because you guys were staying at the Bargewright Inn. I thought y'all were making a play on words on that, and I was like, this could be an interesting change in the plot that I was not expecting.
No, we will not be barging right in.
Hey man, you guys started it up. That's all. I thought you guys were going
Hey,
home. With it.
Our final plan has to be a little bit better than just barging in the bars right in.
You're already in
come
the
on.
Bargewright Inn. You're supposed to be using
Well-
the Bargewright Inn as the base of operations to barge right in to the Red Larch.
So I'm
It's like
thinking,
60 miles away. We're not barging into anything. We're gonna have to walk our asses there. That's gonna take forever.
Or pay a
I'm
card.
thinking,
Or
here's
get a card.
something. What if we one of our smooth talkers talks to the
Not me.
sheriff or whomever is in charge of the militia over in Red Larch, presents the papers, winks a couple of times, is like, we're with them, wink, wink. And then we try to get information as if we're part of the group now, like we've been indoctrinated. And then they give us more information than they would have otherwise.
So you're going in with the old wink, wink, nudge, nudge, say no more kind of plan, then?
Yeah. Well, because my previous approach did not work, which is hey, where are all the cultists at?
I reckon I should not be the one going in doing the winking and the nudging, then.
Right.
So-
I also think key to this whole approach is we need to
We
somehow
also
find
probably
out,
should be.
find
sorry.
out how those calls are the relationship of the calls to each other. We got some information on the boat, but we just coming from the water cold, and then we going in claiming we're associated with the air colds. So I think we
Well-
want to be careful on if we run into people that might already
Yeah.
know us.
I think we already know a couple things. The water cultists seem to be fairly neutral, aside from the fire cults.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's pull back real quick. So Shalar told you that they're working tentatively right now with the Earth cult because their interests currently align, but they don't really care one way or the other for the fire cult or the air cult. I was just making just letting you guys know, it's not like because water opposes fire doesn't mean like they're in like constant struggle. It seems to be more like the friction is like the air cult with the earth cult. That's what they were telling me. Like, that seems to be the for current friction. The fire and the water cult they both seem fairly neutral with each other, if that makes sense.
Then,
Okay.
All right.
I guess that's already pretty good information. Okay. Yeah.
So then the water cult's neutral. We're aligned with the wind cult and the air cults. Don't know. We're trying to find information about the earth cultists. So I think if we just say we're with the water cults, that would at least get us somewhere.
But
and y'all have no information on the fire cult thus far. Just you guys just know that they exist is all.
Yeah, that's what I want to clarify, because I mean the letter that we have is from the wind cult. So
right.
So if we walk in and so you're saying we would walk in and say we're part of the wind cult? Oh, you would say we're
part of the water cult, and we helped out the wind cultists.
Okay, I see.
So
Okay,
it's their earth, water, fire, and air. Just
air.
Because if y'all walk into town and be like, yeah, we're part of the wind cult, they're like, the fuck you talking about? There ain't no wind cult.
Yeah.
Just yeah.
As far as you know.
Okay.
Sure, yeah. As far, I mean, you guys have the handout that says all the cult names and everything too. So like,
yeah,
this shouldn't be like you guys shouldn't mess this up. I just want to make sure you guys don't walk into town and be like, yeah, we're part of the
looks at notes.
Yeah, which cult was that again, guys? I can't remember. Is it the tsunami cult? Is it the infernal cult? What are we doing here? Yeah.
So
You guys-
that
Do you
makes
guys
sense.
think we would need to be disguised at all when we get back to the Red Larch to, possibly hide ourselves from the people we ran into at the quarry? Or do we just go in as, us?
Well, I'm hoping our smooth talkers can imply that we got brainwashed or they did something with our brains, because it seems to be something they can do.
Okay, so this is going to be some persuasion going on. Nice, like it.
So y'all need some smooth talkers for the smooth-brained folks y'all think you're dealing with. I like it.
Yep. I don't know if they would remember, they probably see a lot of people, but, some of us are pretty memorable.
I think
Some
they
of
did
us
only
are-
see one person specifically. They just saw shadows of another person. If I recall correctly how that interaction went.
So once we get in with the cultists, what's our game plan then? Take out the leadership? See if they scatter, or
Kill them all.
all down to the man?
Yeah, let's burn the whole place down.
If I may, lads, if I may, while that does sound like a grand plan, and it may come to that very well instance of having to kill everyone to the last man, remember there's 4 groups, and we have to do a wee bit of talking. Now, allow me to bring you up on some information that I got from our friend Jollifer while you lot were off playing cards and doing a very fine job of distracting those dim-witted guards. When Elwarin and I went off to the loo, I explained to him that Jollifer had given us a wee hint on where he and I might want to go and get some more information on our job. And he said we ought to go to the bathhouse and go talk to Halia Hanadrum over in the Red Larch. So, if in your plan works where we can pretend we're brainwashed while our smooth talkers are off going doing that, Elwarin and I...
Halia Hanandrum.
Halia Hanadrum, thank you. Elwarin and I can do a wee bit pass without trace, and Elwarin and I can stealthy off to the bathhouse, and perhaps have a conversation and get a wee bit more information, because we're in good with the air cultists. The water cultists seem a bit neutral at the moment, and we didn't want to piss off well, there may come a time where we might actually need DQ's dad, and we go and free him from their spell, so to speak. And so we may need to kill those water boys, but we don't know. That's a wee bit down the road. I'm thinking, as it was the Earth Boys who was doing the ones with the mutilating and the slaving and the tongue cutting, they're the ones to focus on. and they're the ones to follow. And I'm thinking it's the Earth Boys who are the ones causing the trouble in the town. So, while our smooth talkers, you might say, go off and talk and convince them that our group is well and truly on the side of the quote-unquote angels, maybe the dark ones for their purposes, Elwarin and I will get our information, and then we can compare notes, you might say.
Right. Well, that all makes sense. I'm just trying to get a big picture of where we're
Yes,
headed.
if you want the wee jock eye view of the situation, we'll more than likely have to kill everyone down to the ground. That I can agree with.
All right. I
But-
just don't want to like kill the leader and then like go for some of the underlings, and then y'all are like, "Whoa, relax."
So-
Cultists are like roaches. They need to be stamped out to the man.
From what we have experienced so far, it seems to me that the only cult that seems to be a danger to us at this point would be the Earth cult.
Yeah.
Since so it might be worth taking our relationship with the other cults as an advantage, and
Right.
not
Yeah.
not try to, while we try to do something about the Earth cult, we might not want to do anything that could ruin our relationship with the other cults at this point.
I agree. So we're gonna be heading in, focusing on the Earth cultists, try to root them out, and then we'll sort of play it by ear at that point, see what we want to do with the rest. Not gonna lie, I got a bit of a chip on my shoulder for them air cultists.
They did pull a bit of a bamboozle on us, didn't they?
They kidnapped us.
They kept us in shackles for a whole day with a bag on my head.
Might
Yeah.
I point out they kept you in shackles for a day with a bag on your head?
Yeah, and that's why I'm the one with the chip on my shoulder.
And they also have all those like creepy wooden goblin things that explode.
Golem, not goblin.
Golems.
Yes, wooden golems.
Yeah.
They were human-like. You guys thought they were humans until they.
I thought they were
exploded.
like bird people.
No, they were on top of giant vultures.
So I'm just gonna suggest, once we take care of the Earth cultists, maybe we look into the air cultists. But I'll keep it open. Maybe we'll learn something. Maybe we'll change our minds. Just saying, that's sort of where I'm headed.
Fine.
All right. Well, it sounds like we're all on the same page. Appreciate talking to everyone. It's been a while since we've been able to speak without there being someone watching us.
I mean, maybe somebody's watching you right now. Who knows?
Yeah.
Really hope it's not the innkeeper, since he
DMs
doesn't
have
want
it.
us to kill anyone.
Just saying, y'all haven't like checked the room for like anything.
Dude, I can't imagine it's a giant suite and there's 7 people in this room. Like,
Checking for bugs.
oh, just
Wow.
like a dude under the bed. Like, oh shit.
He's like,
I'll
"Ah,
just
fuck.
stick-
There's 7 of them in here. I didn't expect 7 of them to be in this
I'll just stick my head under the bed.
room. Yeah, there's nothing there.
It's clear, lads.
Glad we checked now. That's good.
Yeah.
Full on conversation.
Damn.
A
I
10,
see very
yeah.
little.
So with a 10, you notice that the room looks exactly the same as when you walked in.
-1, and I still roll better.
Yeah. As you kind of look around the
Look on the
room,
roll.
what are you looking to investigate? Maybe I should ask.
Maybe I catch a squeaky floorboard, and I'm very curious.
Okay, yeah, sure. You kind of like step around a little bit. You find a squeaky floorboard near the door.
Yeah.
You kind of like you step on it a little bit. It's squeaky.
Yeah.
14 perception. You do notice there is a mouse hole on the opposite side of the room from where you guys are. But you haven't seen the mouse come through.
Hole?
That's what BigYin's 14. He sees a small little mouse hole on the opposite side
Yeah,
of the room,
like
but he
at
hasn't
the
seen the
bottom
mouse.
of the wall.
Yeah, well, he hasn't seen a mouse or anything come through.
But I'm not in this room.
You guys are in his room.
Got mouse infestation.
You haven't. Sure, maybe that's a possibility. But yeah, that one floorboard you're stepping on your door is creaky, Lando. What do you want to do about it?
I'll leave it alone
Okay.
for now. Yeah.
For now. I got my eye on you, though, floorboard.
Yeah. If I ever make my way back in this room, you're going down.
You know I'm gonna squeak you some more before I get frustrated.
Floorboard. I'll just lift it. I'll just walk up and I'll look at him, roll my eyes, and I'll lift up the floorboard.
You ruined the fun.
As you lift the floorboard up, you pop out a nail, and then you pop out the other back nail, and you just rip it off. And
I meant to do it gently.
No. You're a big dude, man.
you said you'd go and pick up the floorboard, so I was assuming you just picked it up.
I pry it up gently.
Okay, so I'll retcon. You do pull up the one nail closest to you out of the thing, and it was just missing a nail. That's why it was squeaky. It was just like rubbing the wood on the edge that was missing. The nail was rubbing against the two pieces of wood.
There's very little point in doing that, and I just pop it down, grab the nail, and tap it back in with my staff.
No, it's missing a nail. Like one of the nails is popped out. There's 2 nails per side.
Yeah, the one that he popped out, though, he put back.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Why is it missing a nail?
You can ask the innkeeper. Hey, ask the innkeeper, man. You have tools to figure out.
That's dangerous. It's a safety hazard.
It just squeaks. It doesn't act. You're heavy, right? So you're causing the squeaking.
Everything squeaks with me.
Wait, if we're done having a conversation, would you lot mind getting out? I'd like to go to sleep.
Yeah.
As he's
more communicated about this plank.
As he's kind of like hammering down the plank that he's pulled out, he's like, "Can y'all leave, please? I'm just trying to sleep here with my squeaky step."
I go over to my room and
squeak.
Continue translating.
Yeah,
until I fall asleep.
You step on it and it squeaks.
Well, I would step over it because someone's working on it.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, he's an animal.
I'm done putting the nail in. I'm just holding the door open, kind of motioning, "Get the fuck out of my room."
Sure. Yeah. Everybody. If anybody else steps on it, let me know. If anybody wants to step on the squeaky plank.
I'll avoid it.
You avoid it, okay?
With Legolas-like grace.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Okay. Is anybody gonna step on it? Just say yes or no. I take your silence as a no. All right. Nothing else happens. Continue. All right. So you all go to sleep. The 3 of you.
Oh, wait, hang on. I'm not done yet.
Okay.
I'll shut the door, kind of wander around my room, walk back to the floorboard, and I'll step on it once.
It squeaks.
Yeah, I shrug my shoulders and I flop onto the bed and pass the hell out.
Okay. So it's a restful night for most of you.
Wait, before I actually do want to do something in my room before I go to sleep. Since I kind of want to spend the first half of the night, just taking out my new bow, and just spend some time with it, getting familiar with it.
Sure. Yeah. The weight feels natural to you. It feels like it was built for you for some reason. Like the draw weight is just perfect. It actually suits you better than the other bow you have. It's perfect length, and like the motion of pulling back the bow just feels super natural, and you feel very relaxed while with it. And you wonder where it's been all your life as you're kind of messing around with it.
Oh.
Anything else you want to do with this bow? You're gonna shoot it off and cast some magic with it?
I assume it's not the best idea to do that inside a room.
Probably not, but hey, who am I to stop you from doing what your character desires?
I guess, I mean, if I remember correctly, you did mention that we need to be kind of in tune with these items, or
yes. So you'd have to spend. I'm guessing you guys spent your time on the boat doing that.
Yes.
Okay.
Y'all didn't do anything else.
Yeah. Well, since I didn't think of it, so I was just going to do it now, but
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
we already done it.
Yeah, I'm saying you've already done it.
Okay,
But you're
perfect.
just like on the boat. You were just kind of feeling it and like getting drawn to it and kind of working its way. But you hadn't like spent time like flexing it or doing anything else. You just like spent some time just sitting there with the bow and like
All right,
like vibing with it.
perfect. So I'll just get a little bit more like still fascinated with it and just play around with it a bit to make sure I'm super comfortable with it. That's about it then.
So yeah. So then, anybody else want to do anything during this evening portion before you go to sleep? Cromwell, you've been quiet most of this night.
Oh, I know where the innkeeper is.
In his room. So yes, I guess.
Creepy as fuck.
Can I visit him in the middle of the night?
Sure. Like you walk over to his door. It's on the first floor, so you head downstairs, and it's closed and locked. What do you do?
I'll knock.
Okay. Do you do this like pretty much right after you guys have your meeting, or is this like straight up middle of the night?
Was I even part of the meeting? I don't
should
even
have been.
remember saying I'm gonna go in the room.
Oh, BigYin did try to rally all y'all to come to his rooms. I don't know. I thought you did, but maybe you didn't. I'll leave that up to you.
Well,
Let's say I didn't, and this is happening kind of while the
Simultaneously?
meeting is happening.
Okay, yeah. So
Oh, great.
yeah. So
well, yeah, can we just just to talk about that because
Sure.
the whole point, and that's why it was kind of like, from my understanding, what happened. Let's just do like a table talk. The point was that we all get together and talk about things, and that's why everybody was like, hey, "Let's go upstairs and find a room and talk." So I don't know if that's a good idea.
I'm really not sure
All
how
right,
I
let's-
feel about the idea of you running off.
Let's
and,
say I
like,
go
doing something
after the
stupid.
meeting.
yeah, sure. You go after the meeting. That's fine. So this is like probably around 9 o'clock at night at this point. And you knock on the door and you hear one second. Sorry, I was just tallying up the final paperwork. And you hear some rustling of papers, closing of a drawer, and the 5-foot-tall half-elf walks over and says, yes, what can I do for you, sir?
I would like to know, and kind of seeing him in a daze, I would like to kind of like shove him into his room and close the door behind me.
Okay. He's like, yeah, what? Can I, sir, these are some private quarters. Is there anything you need from me?
And by the way, this is in relation to Ulrich feeling offended earlier by something that he said because Cromwell felt the same way.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and just like hit him and try to knock him out.
How are you hitting him? Unarmed? What's the game plan?
I'm not a fan of this at all.
With the back of the sword,
Okay. Make
the
a
handle of my sword.
Okay, 1 second.
Man.
Make a roll a d20 and then add your strength modifier.
Roll a d20 and add my strength. There. A plus 3.
Okay.
Yikes.
So you go to backhand. I'm guessing you're trying to like backhand or like just knock him out with hitting him in the temple or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah. So you try to do that, and the innkeeper kind of slides in between both of your legs, and he jumps on top of you and has you in a stranglehold, and he has both of his legs wrapped around your chest, and he's got a dagger to your throat. He says, God damn it. I have to drop the whole facade. I have to drop everything. The fuck do you want? What are you trying to do here, buddy? So he's just on top of him. Like you can shrug him off if you want. Like he's not like holding you like super strong. He's just on top of you at this point. He's very.
I would like to use my necrotic shroud.
Okay. What is that? Post that in the chat. Okay, cool. He will make a charisma saving throw. So that's 3 plus. You guys, the proficiency bonus is 3 now, guys, right?
Yeah.
So 6 plus. So that's a 14 save. So it's charisma based.
My proficiency. Yeah. Okay.
Yikes! Yeah, so he is frightened. He's on top of you and he's frightened, so he drops off. He kind of sees these wings. He's like, "Okay, sir, what can I help you with? I don't think I did anything wrong today to offend
Okay.
you. So what's the deal here?"
I'm just gonna look at him and be like, I would like you to apologize profusely to Captain Ulrich.
For
Or
no, he said four. He said four.
for
Yes.
offending him earlier, and me, by the way.
What did I say, sir?
You implied that we would kill people, and
Is that
I
not what adventurers
would
do?
love to kill you right now. However, group that I am with, which I could give less shits about, does not want that to happen at this moment. Most likely. Therefore, I'm giving you the off chance to apologize.
He kind of sits there and he thinks for a second. He's like, "So you want me to apologize for giving you guys a boilerplate kind of heads up on something that's happened previously? Is that what I'm getting from this?"
It's not the fact that it happened previously, it's the fact that you implied something even if you didn't mean it, and I would just like you to apologize.
You see him, he's kind of stroking his beard a little bit, and he's like, "Okay, yeah, I can do that. I apologize profusely to you for offending you in this interesting form you've chosen to take. Asimir, I see. Did not expect that. Haven't seen too many of
Actually,
you."
kind of being pissed off with the way that he's responding to me, I'm actually gonna gag him
Okay.
and tie him up, and then I'll just go ahead. What's that?
So just make a athletics check, DC 10. It's not very high. Because he's frightened.
Athletics DC 10.
Just so you can bind him and gag him.
A second.
Yeah, so he's bound and gagged.
Okay. And then I'm actually gonna go ahead and just cut the guy's throat and write a suicide note in his name.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Make a. I guess, how are you doing this?
With a knife.
I'm gonna
have a
sit him
knife?
down, and I assume he has a chair in his
Yeah.
in his thing.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna go ahead and unbind his arms, force the dagger into his hands, and then force himself to slit his own throat.
Okay.
Force your dagger.
Yeah, so he doesn't have a dagger with him, I guess.
This is correct. This is with my dagger.
Okay. Yeah, he had a knife. He didn't have a dagger. He had a knife, so you could use a knife. It was like a little like pocket
Oh,
knife.
he does have a knife.
Yeah, he had a pocket knife with him. He didn't have a dagger. Like it's two, like
Is
this pocket knife is like an inch long. Like it's mostly used to cut letters open. Like that's what he had
it-
with him, so that's what he used to like put it to your throat. So like, what the fuck are you doing?
Nice. Okay, that is what I'll use then.
Okay, so you're gonna use the inch to put it through his throat.
Correct. Right on his carotid.
Okay.
Reach, right? I think so.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, I think he's bound and gagged. That's this probably doesn't need a check. Oh, no, he is going to contest you with his one free arm that you're trying to like force into his throat. So make another athletics check. His rolls aren't. He doesn't have very good athletics, unfortunately. Yeah, he can't roll higher than that. All right, I guess just in case he rolls a nat 20, let's find out. He did not. Okay, yeah. So he's dead. Well, he's like bursting blood out into the room at this point.
Okay.
Slowly dying. So how are you planning to write this suicide note?
I'm actually just going to write. I'm not going to write anything. I'm just going to leave it blank with a paper and pen.
Okay. And then you just leave the room.
Yeah, and then I'll give a prayer to my god first, offering the sacrifice up to him, and then I'll leave the room.
Okay. Lando, so you have that note
And
with you.
by the way,
Yeah.
before I leave the room, I would like to make a perception check to see if anyone was around.
Sure, yeah, go ahead and roll. Yeah, you didn't notice anybody was around. Like I said, it was going to be pretty late, and he had mentioned that most of the other patrons were out.
For me, I'm gonna leave the room, go back to mine.
Okay, cool. So, Lando, you did get that note from the innkeeper with the stamp from the snail. What would you like to do with this?
It's nighttime, so I was going to use that, tomorrow.
Okay, that's fine. I just wasn't sure if you were planning on reading it tonight, because you said you have, like, candles and stuff like that,
Oh,
like lamps. Like,
yeah.
It's not just, like, complete
Shit,
darkness.
I
Like, you have no
guess
way
I could read it.
Yeah.
Well, I can see in the dark, so
So exactly.
that's
So
pretty
you,
cool.
yeah, so you wouldn't need to.
Does that mean I can read in the dark?
Yeah, I think so. Unless it's like there's like a darkness spell or something that's like complete darkness where you can't see. Yeah, I would say yes.
Interesting. That's pretty neat. That's a pretty nifty skill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice to be able to see in the dark. If only everyone could see in the dark, it would be very excellent. So cool. Do you open up this letter?
Sure.
Cool. Yeah. So the letter you open up says, "Dear Lando, I hope you're doing well. It's been a little while since we've spoken. I noticed I haven't received an invoice for any weapons or goods you thought you would need. So I let my good friend Nalasker know that if there's something in the town that you need to order, that he will cover it for you and send the bill to me. So feel free to use it here. Or if you want to save this, you can just keep this with you, and you can take this with you to the Red Larch. I have a man there that can...
Yeah, so I'm just going to table talk real quick.
Sure.
So because that guy is now fucking dead, my letter is, this guy I'm supposed to send this to is now no longer, he's not getting any mail.
No,
You don't know that.
Yeah, so you don't know this yet. But
I know. This is table talk.
Yeah,
I'm
so
just
let me
throw
explain
that out there so you can kind of take me on your journey, maybe in your mail truck.
Sure. Yeah, let me explain the explanation, I guess, for what this means. Is what you would do is if you were to buy something in this town, you just say, yeah, put it on Nalasker's tab.
Okay.
And then Nalasker would then pay it and then send an invoice pretty much to the snail and get recouped. Is pretty much how that
No. So I get that part, but yeah, he's now dead.
But you don't know this yet. You have no idea this happened thus far yet. But yeah, maybe if you find out whenever
this is gonna be like I'm holding the murder note, I'm getting blamed for this shit.
Maybe.
That's what's going down.
It's definitely possible.
Why would you? But why would you?
Final
murder
act.
him?
Yeah, why would you kill him though? I guess
You have all the reason to keep him alive.
Yeah, you have every reason to keep him because he's going to pay for whatever you buy in this town.
Well, that's true, but these are some common folk, they're not gonna think through that. Deductive reasoning isn't probably very hot.
Chalaska is the Ulrich of this town.
Yeah, we have
I tried to make that very clear.
Leader.
Yeah, I tried to make that very clear here. So
I'd like to make a point of order as well that we just killed someone. Well, Cromwell just killed someone connected to the snail.
Correct.
The snail might take a dim view to that. I mean, is this heat that we...
All right, so...
Cromwell, is this really the fucking heat that we needed on our ass as it is?
Well,
Hey, no one knows it's me. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, nobody knows what happened in game.
I'm just saying this is not going to end well.
Possibly, yeah. Well, you'll find out the consequences of these actions. That's fine. That's what the campaign should have been called. Consequences of our actions. That would have been a great fucking
That's the name of every campaign, I hate to tell you.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways.
All right, so is there anything else in my letter, or am I
so,
just having to deal with this dead guy?
No,
I
so
don't know if he's actually dead yet.
Yeah, so as you keep reading, he's just kind of asking you how you're doing. He's asking how's the adventuring life going for you. He's just kind of asking inquiries. Then he, at the very bottom, there's this final paragraph. It's by the way, have you heard from Mr. Leader? He left around the same time as you guys, and He told me he'd messaged me when he got to the Fearbolg town, and I haven't heard anything from him. If you hear from him, feel free to drop me a note. But aside from that, I hope to hear back from you soon, man. It's been a long time, and I'd love to talk to you again, dude. The snail. He says some nice salutation that's Zentarum speak for like, we'll talk to you soon sort of deal. Yeah, that's how the note ends.
Oh, Mr. Leader is missing. That's good.
No, he just hasn't reached out to him, is what he says. He's not.
Seems very Mr. Leader like though.
Exactly.
You know,
That
seems
is,
like he was a dependable guy.
Mr. Leader is the most dependable guy you know.
That's true. That's because I know him.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So he would have reached out to the snail when he got into the town, unless something happened. So that's what you know.
There's some funny business going on back at that carnival. I remember that today.
Yes, you do.
Yep.
Cool. Yes, that's what the note says.
Well, I'm gonna again just go back to trying to attempt to juggle the one ball, and then I'm gonna probably do that for about 15 to 17 minutes, and then
go to sleep.
After that range of time, I'm gonna choose to go to bed.
Sure, sounds good. Cool. Yeah. So the three of you, BigYin, Ulrich, and Elwarin, you have your dream, and you are now aware of the thing known as power, and it's next boarding.
What?
This is what happens when y'all miss a week. It's all good. It doesn't have any super big implications, but they found out about something, and I'll let them explain to you what happened in game. So yeah, it's the next morning. What do y'all do when you wake up?
I will kind of drag my ass out of bed in a daze, trying to really wrap my head around everything that happened in the night. And I'll go knock on Elwarin's door and just kind of wait for him to come to the door.
Sure. So Elwarin, you hear a knock as you wake up.
It's effectively coming down to Elwarin.
Yeah, that's what I figured. So yeah, Elwarin, you hear him knock because it wakes you, like you're up from your meditation, and yeah, I'll leave you to wait however long you will, to him asking to talk to you.
I guess after the third time I hear him knocking the same name, I walk up to the door and open it up.
Sure.
Laddie, I'm sorry to bother you as early as I am, but do you remember what happened last night in that odd space, the dream thing?
Will you tell me you also were dreaming about that?
I mean, if the dream you had involved you, me, Ulrich, a shit ton of goblins, and a weird amorphous, possibly mad power spirit named Power? Aye, I reckon I did.
That's
I mean, I love the nickname we got, but I mean, I didn't appreciate being told I was rubbish at magic. That wasn't right, but
to be fair, yeah, I did have the same dream.
Ugh, Christ.
Should we check in on Ulrich and see if...
Probably a good idea. I'll let you do the knocking on that one. He's not happy with me.
Okay.
Why do you think he's not happy with you?
I mean, considering at least I let him know I was turning into a spider. I didn't realize that let him know every time I shifted into fucking something.
You should just yell out. You just yell out whatever it is you're about to turn into.
Wolf!
Right before you do it. Just spider. It should be a prerequisite for you entering that state. Is you having to.
And then I just happen to
out.
announce that I'm gonna shift into something and give away the surprise on our enemies.
Yes. It's your character flaw. Everybody's got
that
one.
That is not my character flaw.
His flaw hasn't come into play too hard yet.
I feel like that'd be really funny to just be like, yeah, this is what my character has.
that would be great. That would be great. All right. Yeah,
you have no poker face.
Yeah, so you two go over and knock on Ulrich's door. Ulrich,
Yeah.
I'll let you decide how long it takes for you to wake up.
I know. Probably wake.
Sure.
I'll
Yeah.
enter the door.
Old man getting up early. That makes sense.
Yeah. Morning. Strange to see you here. I'm heading down for some breakfast. You not, or are we just like heading straight over?
Yeah,
I'd like.
Go ahead. No, we were just gonna head down to get breakfast too, but
All right.
but before the BigYin and I just talked, we both had this odd sort of dream last night, and you were in it, so we were just kind of curious.
Had a strange. I mean, not too strange. We spent a lot of time together. It's bound to happen that we're gonna be in each other's dreams. And I continue walking down the hallway.
Unfazed, just continue to walk down.
Before he gets past me, I actually reach out with my right hand and put it on his shoulder and arrest his momentum, and I say, "You didn't.
Really?
You and yeah,
Really?
I do.
Really? You're gonna? What? I like look at the hand. I like look at the hand on my shoulder. I'm like, what is this? What are we doing?
I'm not looking for a fight, laddie, but I really feel like we should have
we
a
were going to get
conversation.
breakfast. I don't understand what all this is about.
We need to have a conversation,
Can
especially
I come
about
out of my
you
room at this
and me
moment?
doing
Sure.
magic.
Yeah.
I'd like to come out of my room at this moment.
Oh yeah. What about the magic?
I mean, do I have to tell you everything every time I'm going to do something? It
Just
kind of
like
takes away from the element of surprise.
just like an indication. You know, I just had the craziest dream last night, and this kind of came up. So I think I got figured out, right? So like,
For fuck's sake.
if you're gonna turn into like a spider, say, right? You
Mhm.
just go like a whistle or something, like just something that I know means, hey, I'm gonna turn into a terror of your nightmares, and then skitter around and eat things right in front of you.
Fine.
Right.
Do I have to do it for? It can be one symbol for I'm going to
Yeah.
do
Oh,
something.
right.
mad.
So like, in my dream, you turned into this giant fuck you sized wolf, like bigger than anything I've ever seen before, right?
Maybe.
Why?
It fucking terrifying, tore out some things, right, of these goblins.
Hey, it was fun.
Crazy as shit, right? Also real terrifying to just like have happen. So that's what I'm saying, just like whistle, just be like, I'm gonna turn into a thing of your nightmares. Literally.
All right, fine. Let's go
Like-
get breakfast.
Well,
I'll look-
so let's just confirm that since you're talking about a dream about goblins, I want you to understand that
Yeah.
BigYin and I both had the same exact dream.
How do you know? That seems very strange.
Well,
Did you not hear the giant voice talking about what are bodies? What is life? What is power? I mean that, and the little guy that gave us goofy nicknames, and he said that voice had gone mad.
All
And
right.
I'm pretty
Yeah, that does
sure
sound familiar.
besides the wolf, you also saw a giant spider again.
Right. Well, I mean, it's a
And
dream,
you can
probably.
hear the giant spider talking to you in Dwarvish.
Yeah.
Well, no.
Most people.
So time out. You wouldn't know that other people were understanding what they were saying. and
That's a
then
fair
everything
point.
just-
Well, I figure I would if I'm talking to him and he's responding to
Yeah,
whatever
but
I'm
you're
saying.
hearing
then
you're hearing it back in Jotun or whatever giant language that is.
I guess
So
I
you
just
you can infer that he's understanding you, but you're not sure what language it is. What
Okay,
I'm trying to say.
fine.
Yeah. So you could say like
Fine.
you understood what I was saying as a spider would make more sense here.
Yeah. Right.
fine. Feel free to
Well,
retcon
yeah.
that into
Yeah,
that.
it's
Maybe
fine.
you can
I
just
was-
hit him with like a hooty hoo. You know?
Of course, I understood what you're saying. I was dreaming.
Oh dear.
I
God,
can
fine.
usually understand the things talking to me in my dreams.
So Cromwell.
Wait, here's a question for you. Do y'all have dreams where people talk to you and you don't understand what they're saying?
All the
Not in
time.
my life before.
Right. So okay.
So I'm assuming everybody's come into the hallway at this point just because of how loud.
Yeah, we're having a little powwow.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
out in the hallway.
in the hallway. Yeah, just
Yeah.
I'm assuming
So-
it's happening at this point.
Yep.
At this point I've realized everyone is kind of in the hallway. Do I look around? I'm just gonna kind of look around at everyone and see if everyone's awake and if we need to drag anyone out of bed. Do I see anyone missing? Do I see anything out of place?
Everybody's out.
Cromwell covered in blood.
No.
Why would he be covered in blood?
Because he, quote unquote didn't kill a guy last night.
Even if he legit killed it, like he
Yeah,
could kill
why-
like 15 people.
Yeah, you can clean yourself up still. Like that's a thing people do. But no, he
I mean-
didn't get any blood on himself. Like he
That's
knew
good,
what he was
that's
doing. He knew what he was doing.
I feel that's rather difficult, all things considered, because the half elf was like what, 5 feet tall, Cromwell's 6.
You flip him
He's
around.
cutting-
You flip him around and you just plunge.
But I mean, he's cutting arterial spray, and unless he gets the carotid, unless he cuts the vena cava at
had,
the
like-
right shoulder,
He
and
had
then cut
all
the
night
cross-
to clean himself.
Yeah,
He
12
had
hours.
all night to clean
Yeah.
himself and sleep, dude. Like
He's
the
also
way
a
that I imagine this
professional
happening.
killer.
Yeah, the way that I imagine this happening is he flipped him around, stabbed him, got a little bit on his hands, and was like, I'll wash it off. Went downstairs, washed off his things, and then went back to
He
sleep.
already was downstairs.
Yeah,
We did all that without seeing anybody.
Nighttime.
it's nighttime.
Okay, fine.
Doubt me.
I have no.
So he didn't notice anyone, is what we should say. He didn't notice anybody. Well, if there was somebody
Great,
there,
let's go
maybe
down-
there wasn't somebody there.
And
who
we
knows?
have no idea that any of this should happen,
Correct.
so let's go
Right.
downstairs and get some breakfast.
Yeah. So as you guys walk downstairs, you see a portly woman at about 6 feet tall, and she's making food. She's like, "Morning, y'all. How's it going?"
Morning.
Interesting.
I got a question for you, ma'am.
Mhm.
Nice to meet you,
Mhm.
Ulrich. Have you
Yes.
ever had a dream where someone spoke to you and you didn't understand what they were saying?
No, can't say I have. Every dream I had has had regular people talking to me. Sometimes I'm beating people up. Sometimes I'm sleeping with them. Who knows? But I understand everything they're saying.
I'd like make a point look at BigYin.
I pointedly look away and what might be for breakfast, good lady?
Yeah, she's like, we've got some loaves of fresh bread right out of the oven, and some eggs and bacon. That's what we got for breakfast today. Good hearty stuff.
All
Tell
of
me
that
how
sounds
many-
wonderful.
Yeah, tell me how many eggs and how much bacon you want, and I'll get that right on over.
I'll just take a bacon butty if you don't mind, with a wee bit of fresh butter on there.
So what does that mean in real English? What does that mean?
A bacon buddy is real English.
What does that
Okay.
mean? I'm asking you as an
Bacon
Common
American.
vernacular.
As an
Friends
American,
with
what
your
does that
food
mean?
or something.
It's a bacon sandwich.
Ah, bacon sandwich. Got it. Yeah, so she makes
That's
that for
literally
you.
just like bread and bacon.
Yeah,
And egg. I mean, she's adding egg to this.
that's fine.
Yeah.
But normally it doesn't have any egg. It's literally just white bread and bacon.
Yeah, she looks at you. Is like, you're gonna need something more than that, and she adds egg to it. She looks at you. She's like, yeah, he's a big boy. He needs some real food. She pops it over to you. Anybody else getting food?
Yeah,
Yeah,
can I
I'll-
get
Me
as
too.
much as you can pile onto a plate?
She does.
Yeah.
That.
Give me
It's-
all of your eggs and bacon.
She's like,
That's what I
can't do
want.
that, laddie, but I can give you a lot. And both
I,
of you.
I just need a platter that at least serves 12, and then I'll be fine.
So she gives you and Ulrich 15 eggs and 15 slices of bacon with 3 loaves of bread on the very top.
And can I also have this? I want to bring out my mug of choice, and I want to ask if she can fill it up with some beer.
Yep. And she's like, that'll cost you a silver.
That's cool. Take those odds.
Yep.
Mm.
And she gives you this this morning ale is what it looks like.
Maybe like a nice little shandy. Oh God, can't wait till those are back.
Yeah.
Mm.
There's hints of apple in it.
Okay, is it fresh?
Yeah. It tastes.
What are
fresh
the
to you.
tasting? Hit me with the tasting notes.
All right. Yeah. So you got apple. You've got
Mhm.
cinnamon, and you've got
Okay.
a slight hint of lime, and you're surprised that there's lime in it.
A little more
A
spiced rummy kind of vibe.
little bit.
Okay.
But you get hints of like sour, like acidic sour that you're not used to, and
It's
you're
like a
you're
malt.
pleasantly surprised because not many people make morning ale with lime.
Yes, I would agree. I feel like beer and citrus is not very.
No, this isn't beer. It's an ale.
I don't know. It's just like
Yeah, it's an interesting flavor profile, and you're pleasantly surprised how well it cuts with the greasy eggs, bacon, and the bread soaking it all up.
yeah, all 15 of them and 3 loaves of bread. It's a lot of food.
Yeah, you asked for 12 people's worth.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you.
Anybody else getting food? Elwarin, I'm guessing you want some food.
Yeah,
How much would you like?
I'll just take 2 eggs, a few pieces of bacon, and some bread.
Sure.
And then, curious if they had any good tea there.
Yeah,
Morning tea.
she brings out a English breakfast tea. She's like, I had made this fresh this morning. She pours you a little mug of it.
Wonderful.
Useless.
Would also like some food.
I'll get to you shortly. Useless. What are you getting?
How do you know what they have at their menu?
It's eggs, bacon, bread, and that's what they have.
Okay.
Some tea.
We'll take.
There's some tea.
We'll take the everything plate.
Sure. How much?
Some
She's
tea.
like,
Vegan.
how much
We're
you
full
want?
English.
She's like, how much you want? How many eggs? How many bacon slices? How much bread?
Let's do like 8 pieces of bacon.
Okay, she does that.
4 pieces of bread.
She does. She puts,
Like-
yeah.
5 eggs.
Yep. And she cracks 5 eggs open, makes them real fast, and puts them on a plate and hands it over to you.
Thank you.
Yep. And she's like, got it. You want anything to drink?
Tea, please.
Yep. She hands you some tea. Cromwell.
I would like what the elf had,
Sure. She hands that to you.
but with ale instead of tea.
Got it. And she hands you the ale. And like I said, same thing as Lando. You've never seen a it's like your first kind of like sour ale, but not really that sour. They haven't invented sour beer yet, guys. But he's getting to it. The innkeeper was getting to it.
Is there anything like it's just business as usual this morning?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, I mean, as far as you can tell, nothing seems off.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So yeah, you guys have breakfast. You guys want to do anything else? We've got about 5 minutes. We can just end it here if you'd like.
I think we're just preparing to head over the
To
bridge.
Womford. Cool. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we can get into here then, and then we can do some table talk after this, and we can kind of see what the tomorrow or next week's session wants to be about. Cool. This is Ronnie, everybody. Hope you had a great time. Talk to you later. Bye.